You are what you fill up on. Fill up on showing up. Fill up on timeless moments as a time. Fill up on turn up.
Siyabathikoni nebandla sibonile ukuthi akekho omunye umuntu ongalingana kulezi icathulo zikaMelosi. Ujafta yedwa.
Ndizocela uba uyihambe nami le ndlela ehambayo. Undibambe ngesandla njengomamfundisi.
Ziyakhala in our brand new drama, Identity, Sundays at 7:30 on SABC1. Zanzi for sure.
Ngiphuphe ngivuka ngekusasa lami egqamile. Really? Awuze nazo.
You guys ready? Please, don't practice here. And a 1, 2, 3.
The youth of 76 took a stand in fighting yesterday's struggles. It's your turn.
Don't look at things on the surface, but also align your passion to your academic qualifications.
Stay positive, motivated, focused, and your determination will pay off.
Jigizindo.
Guys. Yes! So
Hashtag shape your future.
Okay, Chummies, get up in some lunch.
Black and the black, my friend. 15, as long as the regenerate.
Welcome back. We are continuing with the exciting build-up as Richmond United take on City Lads in the HWBSL Super League. And as for coach Edwin, they've been quite dominant at home, having scored all of those 20 goals. So the big question is, what are they going to do to make sure they continue with that dominance? This is what he had to say.
Coach Edwin of Richmond United joins us now. Coach, you come into this encounter feeling slightly bruised given your 1-0 loss midweek. How do you make sure with Namhlanje you collect maximum points in terms of your strategy on the field?
Yeah, coming to the game today, you know, it's true. We are coming from Durban. It was a bit, not a good game for us by losing 1-0 after we dominated the game, you know. But it's football, we forget about it, and then we went back to the drawing board. And then in terms of today's game, we are coming to play against a wounded team, you know, and then we just need to be cautious because always when we concede early. So today we're going to play 4-5-1, changing it from 4-4-2. You know, you just want to pick the midfield because their midfield is too slow. So you just want to close them quick so that we can use our wingers so that we can attack. We're going to attack from our wings, you know. So in terms of the team change, you know, we brought Kananelo Taiwe back to the team after she has never played for long because of the exams, and then we don't have Ntabise Majia who went to Banyana. I think Kananelo and Thabisang are the similar players in terms of the age and scoring opportunities, you know. And then we've got Beckard back, we've got Tsepi back, and then we've got Katande back. They never traveled with us to Durban because of commitment of the school and the college's exams and all those things, yes.
All right, Coach, good luck to hear today. It is your home game when we know that at home you are unbeaten this season.
Yeah, we are unbeaten at home this season, but we don't want to take it like, you know, to undermine in City Lads, because City Lads is a wounded team and they are good. They are a good team. It's just that they were unlucky in terms of their games, but we'll be victorious after the game. Thanks a lot.
Richmond United are a wounded team, having suffered that 1-0 defeat to Durban Ladies. Got to there. We have a look, and glaring is the absence of Umachia, who is the highest goal scorer on 9.
Samson is on 6 and she's on the starting lineup today, and I think the coach has deployed the services of the 17-year-old Kananelo Taiwe, who's played in the under-17 for the past 3 years. So she's got a lot of experience in her. Technically she's good, it's just decision-making and her believing in her potential, because she's got the ability to play at this level. If you think about it, she's from Celtics. I think 2019 she played at Celtics, she played at TET, and now she's at Richmond. There's also 4 changes that they've made. Ngambe comes in, Taiwe, Dlamini and Khatebe come in in those changes, which means coach Kulmeng a 4-5-1. That's what he's trying to do. He's trying to make sure it's in central media corner, by compress as much as they can, and be able to say once they go wide, they have enough personnel in central in the center of the park where they are able to retain possession. Whenever they lose possession, they can press immediately. Whenever they in possession, they're able to let go of Samson and Dlamini on the wings.
Of course, they'll be playing this match in mind, which is quite a formidable team. But of course, as we said, coming in back of that loss, and they won 4-0 against Golden Ladies. And even though this is a high-scoring team in terms of 24 goals scored, they've also conceded 18. So that goalkeeping department is something that really needs to be strengthened ahead of this match.
I think the balance is something that the coach is still struggling with, because if they are going forward so much, it means they're adding numbers going forward. Hence, they're scoring so much. But at the back, it means agna rest defense. And I think today he's looking at that. That's why he says we need to go with a 4-5-1 to make sure when they lose the ball, there's somebody that will be there to play rest defense. And I think Kumpambani is one of those players that will be sitting back to say, once the fullbacks and the wingers have gone up, she'll be deployed to come back and make sure she reinstates order in central midfield.
Of course, for City Lads, they are a team that is high on confidence. They beat Tsunami Queens 1-0. It was Unandi Papoy who found the back of the net. So they do want to continue with that momentum as they take on Richmond United. I guess this
Coach Teddy Mkhwekwe of City Lads joins us now. Coach, on the back of your first victory in the season, I'm sure the confidence is high in the team. So how do you make sure you take that and emulate and give us another winning performance here today?
Yes, of course, the confidence is still high in the team, and there's nothing better than we did last time. We will try and improve, just because we didn't bet as much as we got our first point, 3 home points. I was a little bit disappointed with the play. We hope that we'll improve offensively, and there's no changes in the team. We'll try to modify our offensive strategy, try to do better than what we did during the week.
Okay, Coach, and as you try to do better, are you changing your formation, or is your formation staying exactly the same?
The formation stays the same. There's no changes in the players. They start with the same first 11. The minor injuries that we have on Wednesday are right now. We'll carry on with all that first 11 from last week.
City Lads in search of their second consecutive victory. Gloria, good there to see Uboya, who scored in their last 2 matches that they played, also as part of the starting lineup.
Yeah, you're looking at a very unchanged side from the first victory of the HWBSL beating Tsunami Queens by 1-0. Good to see Nandi Paboy picking up from where she left off. And for the coach himself, looking at the formation that he brings in, a 4-4-2, not changing much, and also the personnel. And this is when you believe as a coach, you don't change what ain't broke. If you got your win, and you need to continue from that or build from that. But players like Ndesi and Msila in the middle of the park, they will have to be very instrumental, as we are aware that Richmond are a team that enjoy playing on the wings. So Nandipa, as well as Yoliswa Makaringa, will have to be very, very strong on the left and right-hand side of the wing play.
Also, when you look at those last 3 results, you know, it talks about a team that really isn't quite consistent, having won 1-0 against Tsunami, drawing against UJ, and then losing by a hefty margin, 5-0 to Coal City Wizards.
This is a team that continues to build and continues to try and assess oppositions, because this is their maiden appearance in the HWBSL. So the first round of the league, one is expecting that they will be the whipping girls of the league. And as you can see, they've conceded 27 goals. It's a lot. And it's also a team that is still trying to interface youth and experience. They've got a lot of aging players in the side, and it is important for the coach not to phase out everybody at the same time, but do it very, very gradually. And with that, you will have a lot of casualties, and the results do speak to that.
And also what's so impressive about them is that even though they suffered those 5 losses at the beginning of the season, they were able to come back with a draw and, of course, win against Tsunami. But we speak about those 27 goals conceded as opposed to the 7 scored. It is going to be very worrying. And for Richmond, they will want to capitalize on that weakness. AS City lads, let's take a quick ad break. Uma Smuya will be taking you through to the stadium for the first half of this pulsating match.
People are eating more and more acidic foods, which can cause enamel loss and may lead to tooth sensitivity and yellowing. Pro-enamel will drive in more minerals into the enamel structure so that the enamel is stronger and more resilient to acid. New Pro-enamel has been specially designed for enamel protection.
You make the world go round and can't afford to let pain get in your way. You need fast, effective pain relief that gets ready to work in 10 seconds on the go. It's the same Grandpa you trust. Kshinshi style of pela. Grandpa, trusted for over 100 years. It's the same trusted Grandpa, same quality, same quantity. Now in a sealed stick pack.
Anna, ufumana television ka DSTV, OpenView, StarSet kapa di streaming platform, o ka sebella mathata ka hodima ha analog. Ho fumana dintlha tse ding le ho netefatsa hore TV ya hao ke ya digital kapa tjhe, etela www.dcdt.co.za. Romella molaetsa wa WhatsApp ho 0600 625 458. Shintsha ungasale. Go digital. Molaetsa ona o tliseditswe ke Department ya Communications le Digital Technologies.
Igama lam ndinguthembisa Mdoda Nxumalo. Catch classic celebrations this Wednesday ngentsimbi yesithandathu apho siquka kwiingingqi zaseSasolburg ngaseval senza umsebenzi wootata with a classic Father's Day braai. I would like to nominate my dad because he is our hero. He's like my Superman. Wangile's face lights up xa ithetha ngotata wakhe. Classic celebrations, bringing families closer together, Mdasekai. Catch classic celebrations every Wednesday at 6 p.m. only on SABC1. Ubaba mi is against the belief yami yokuba isangoma.
Modimo a di batla dilo tse.
A ke rate kereke ya hao. Ke hona mo tletseng yona le moyeng.
I feel right mo peleng ya. Lesi that's not nix le. Nga bona gogo tsone. I plan e funa imali.
O na le pelo e mpe.
No man di feel angifuna ukubona mo bona duza wa thuna. Hey.
On Roxic, Tuesdays at 6 on SABC1.
Less than 8 minutes remaining till the kickoff at the De Beers Stadium in Kimberley, Northern Cape. Richmond United are up against City lads. And I actually do want to find out from our analysts here in studio, just in terms of score prediction, you know, where do you think this is going to go? Especially, it's so important since this is their first meeting in the HWBSL Super League.
I do see it as a draw.
Wow.
But with goals.
Okay.
Machia is not there. She's their go-to person, immediate go-to person when it comes to goals. And both teams are leaky at the back, which means both teams are able to find the back of the net, except Uguti City lads, they don't find it as often. And with the few games that I've seen, it's just that they lose concentration where it matters the most. Drawing against UJ away was a good one for them, and to win also at home. So, unfortunately, Kutuba lose 5-0 ekhaya, but guna consistency enye bakhona when they're on song, and I'm glad Undesi is on the field, which means, and January is upfield, which means they'll be making sure they go pound to pound in the central midfield, and yeah, I just see a draw for some reason.
Are you also seeing a draw, Gloria? Because we're talking about two teams, one that's 10th on the log, the other 14th. There is quite a difference between the two.
For Gunners, they would need to continue from where they left off, which means that they've got the confidence. They won their previous match. They would be expecting to exert themselves because they've now got the belief that they can do well. So against Richmond, who is not consistent as one would expect them to be, you're looking at a draw. but leaning more to Richmond.
Lovely draw that's leading more to Richmond.
Yeah.
Yo, not able quite to crack it here in studio in terms of who's going to be walking away with the victory. It looks like it'll be an LD, a lovely draw. But we'll see what happens on the pitch, because that is going to tell us if, in fact, analyst predictions are correct. Let us now take you through to the stadium where the first half is about to ensue. In commentary, Tulimia and Ray Coons, and, of course, ably assisted by Uspiwe Mkonza. Enjoy.
And it was very much a contrast of results in midweek for both these top flight teams. Richmond United losing out 1-0 to Durban Ladies, while City Lads picked up what might prove to be their biggest 3 points of the season with a much-needed victory over fellow relegation battlers Tsunami Queens. The travel to Kimberley poses a number of questions to both these teams that require urgent answering. Hello to you and welcome to De Beers Stadium here in Kimberley. It's Richmond United and City Lads rounding up this weekend's round of women's football in the HWBSL Super League. It is the first meeting between these two top flight outfits. City Lads, of course, find themselves in 4th position, while Richmond United operating well in between that mid-tables, currently sitting in that 10th slot. They are separated by 9 points. As we can see now, both teams making their way onto the field of battle. City Lads, of course, in that blue and yellow strip, and the home side, Richmond United, home to the Northern Cape, calling Kimberley their home, dressing themselves in that red and white. A lovely turnout here this afternoon in Kimberley, despite the cold, dry and windy conditions. Pitch conditions might not be too ideal, couple of bumps here and there, but nonetheless it's conditions that are the same for both teams, and definitely something that both these teams do need to overcome as we just wait for the team sheets. Richmond United, of course, coming off a 1-0 defeat to Durban Ladies. Despite their large share of possession and chances, coach Edwin did mention the importance of using Samson and Lamini on the wings, and a forced change for Magia as Tahiwa comes in up front.
Thank you, Rand. Richmond United, they'll be applying a 4-5-1 formation. Obviously, the principles are the same in terms of they want the solidity through the spine, and obviously the progression is in the wide areas where they'll be using Udlamini, no Samson on the wide areas. But what's critical is what happens to the setup out of ball possession. So it's going to be important with the concentration level needs to be high when it comes to this game, because both sides, you can see the body language says we really want this game. So 4-5-1, different principle.
Asibonge ke kakhulu ke siphinde ke sithi ke siyakwamkela ke mbukeli ke lapho ke ekhaya ke sisho sithi namhlanje sila eKimberley De Beers Stadium ke njengoba ke ubona laphana ke okapteni kanjalo ke nabo ke onompempe ke basiphathele ke umdlalo namhlanje uNonjabulo ondlela ke usizwa ke uyena ke lapha uzanele entombela ke kwabanye ke abamsizayo, kanti ke mabheka iqembu leCity Lads eliza ke namhlanje linokuzethemba ngemuva kokunqoba ke umdlalo owodwa isizini ke yonke bengakaze ke banqobe. Namhlanje ke umqeqeshi uTerry ke ushilo ukuthi akashintshi lutho ngoba ke akukho ke okwenakele emdlalweni wabo odlule. Dr. Mnandi badlala i4-5-1.
4-5-1 again. Shilo ngathi badlala same setup, but it's about the principle. It's about variation in order ukuthi uthole i-game model. For City Lads, it's about incorporating a heavy ball position with a high and aggressive pressing actions. So our coaches, coach Mrwari wa City Lads is very clear. Uthi yena ufuna i-ball possession ezomsiza kakhulu, because i-team yakhe inabadlali abakhona ukuyimunya thuli bayifaka ushukela.
The collision course has been set, and many expect this to be a rather feisty encounter with HWBSL Super League. As we can see there, Terry Mrera, the head coach for the City Lads side, he did mention in his pre-match interview that the side has entered into a period of relative confidence after their first win of the season against fellow relegation contenders Tsunami Queens. So a much needed victory for them and a much needed confidence booster for the side from the Eastern Cape, as we just await for referees and Ndlela's final go ahead for the game to begin. Edwin Lesina watching on. he'll be hoping his side can get back to winning ways after their defeat against Durban Ladies. But this time a home game. Richmond United so comfortable at home, undefeated at home this season. So it's definitely the bookies' favourite to win this one, as they punted forward immediately, trying to get into that City Lads half from the get-go. It's so important to start off an encounter like this on fire, but City Lads with a really good run there down that right-hand flank. Tarrant January, of course. And it's a throw-in now for Richmond United. Quite a lively start to the opening exchanges. City Lads now with a long throw-in, trying to establish some sort of possession. Richmond United break away with it, and it's that lady once more, Taiwe. But it's an offside call, early offside run from the young number 10. I was told that her nickname is in fact Messi, so we'll just have to wait and see if she can replicate her nickname's namesake. It's definitely one to watch out for, the young 16-year-old striker. But now it breaks to the right-hand side of the field. Dlamini getting her first taste of the leather. A little backheel back to Dlamini, trying to find a cross. City Lads eventually recovering in defense. Njongweni doing very well to come back, and Makalima as well, recovering from that right back position into the center of the box.
The mentality in the moment of transition is very clear. Use your speed, use your technical skill. You see, Dlamini connects with Ngabe in that situation, but a very good defensive play from Njongweni.
And the ball goes in. Richmond United get the head on it. Just going wide there. Taiwe, of course, getting a real good taste of the first chance for Richmond United at goal. First side at goal for the young striker. Very good start from her, but she is holding her heel there, so it'll be interesting to see if she is okay. Richmond United would definitely not want to deal with an injury, especially in the opening 3 minutes of this game, but the ball is eventually put out there. Good sportsmanship shown from City Lads. Taiwe down and out, holding her heel, or her Achilles shin, I'm not quite too sure. Referee Ndlela eventually making her way to the young striker.
Yeah, she also, we will see from the slow-mo point of view, I think she twisted an ankle in that situation.
Taiwe, of course, coming in for Magia, who is on international duty, of course.
But I was saying that Taiwe, in that situation, she wanted to balance. Look at the scenario. I mean, she was trying to balance. She twisted the ankle. A very dangerous injury. It's very painful, because you're on your own and you're putting all the balance on your legs, and you could see that her eyes were fixed on the ball. Unfortunately, these things happen in this game. Unlucky injury.
Taiwe, unfortunately for her, making her way off the field. Most certainly not what the doctor ordered for Richmond United. They already have one striker short, and now losing out to Taiwe as well. So off the get-go, on the back foot are Richmond United, but they'll be looking to respond. Taiwe will be hoping she can find her feet again, but City Lads now on the prowl, sense a real opportunity to capitalize here on a weakened Richmond United side. I did mention City Lads coming off that 1-0 victory over Tsunami Queens, so the confidence is definitely high in the camp of that Eastern Cape side. And a free kick won there, and it's taken quickly. And eventually intervened there. Motsabi getting her first feel of the ball and distributing ever so well to Dlamini, who chops it back onto her right foot, trying to find a ball through. Very good run there, not quite finding Taiwe. And City Lads come away with it once again. January now with the ball, not quite finding the number 10. Richmond United, it's been a bit of a basketball game, and they're through. Yeah, Richmond United, can they capitalize? Surely now! Oh, and just going wide. maybe the chance just fell that little bit too early for Samson.
The coach Lisena spoke about the speed on the wide areas, which I said it earlier. Samson breaks down on the left-hand side. There's no excuse here. Ray, she needed to terminate. But also the technique used. She needed to use the instep. Because if you're losing the toe punch, it's only when the ball, you can't be able to reach the ball. But if you look at the situation, she needed to use the instep. Pick a spot. I mean, the defender is behind you. There's nothing a defender could do in that situation. Samson needed to terminate here.
Samson opting to go, as you mentioned, Spiwe, the outside of her right foot. Just going wide there, so Richmond United getting an early sight on goal from the corner and stared down the goalkeeper, did Samson, but not quite capitalizing. But it does allow her now to rectify that mistake when the chance comes again for the young winger. There's a certain reliance in a 4-4-2 formation on your wingers. And Samson and Dlamini will be certainly hoping that they can spark some energy and spark some life into this Richmond United team. Eventually now in the midfield with Mpambi. City lads winning it in the center of the park. Ndesi all the way to the other side of the field, and Shota gets the shot away. Very good stop there from goalkeeper Motsabi, coming out very quickly and snuffing out that early chance from City lads.
You can see Jota is also she's also pace on the side, but a good pass from Unde is a keeper. Good timing in coming out to make sure that she narrows the angle and also close on the player before she takes a decision. Sometimes it's also important to make, when the player is about to make a decision, the keeper makes a good coming out in terms of the timing.
This game has rather started off with quite a bang. Both teams getting into each other's penalty areas. Goalkeepers are quite busy in the opening exchanges. Richmond United, as I mentioned, a mixed bag of results. The last result, of course, a loss against Durban Ladies, a win against the Golden Ladies. We saw Golden Ladies in action earlier on today, and a draw against Maindis, the side from Limpopo, and of course another side in action earlier on today, Celtic. Richmond United just coming up short against Bloem Celtic a couple of weeks ago. But it's Motsabi, the keeper there for Richmond United, on her backside, not quite ready to get back up. But City lads, FC, of course, led by their coach, Terry Moreira, and coming off their first one of the season against Tsunami Queens, and 4 points on the bounce, a draw against UJFC, and then a loss, unfortunately, three game weeks ago against Coal City.
These results, obviously, clearly, they evidently show the inconsistency from the side in terms of getting results. So the coaches are speaking about they really want to be consistent. If their loss should be a draw. So I think it also talks about the team personality in terms of the quality going forward.
Trying to find Dlamini there, still operating on this right flank. But it comes away for Boy, of course, the experienced left back, someone that does have a cap for the national side, Banyana, of course. But it's threaded through now for Samson on that left-hand touchline. She's desperately trying to keep it in, does Samson, and she does brilliantly, trying to find support in the form of Mhlanga. Mhlanga still looking for Samson, just left behind that ever so little bit. Richmond United biding their time, but not quite finding that through ball just yet. Mhlanga now really putting on the pressure. Mhlanga gets it away for City lads, and it's Richmond United who pokes it through for Dlamini. Dlamini is through, Samson is in the box and decided to go on her own, did Dlamini. She still has the ball at her feet. Dlamini looking for support in the midfield. Radebe finding a pass, finding Samson, but an offside call there.
I just love how Samson and Dlamini are very explosive on the wide areas. You can see how they want to occupy the wide area, and how they occupy the wide area is through their speed. So they need to use more of their speed, but also isolate them in terms of you want them to deal with 1v1 situation. Don't give them support. It depends when and how you give them the support. But as they have the speed and the technical quality, allow them to deal with 1v1s.
City lads, free kick deep within their own half. Just before I hand off to you, Tuli, scratched away from Richmond United. Oh, the rock solid in defense, flicked on. She has a crack. Early shot there. And Richmond United starting off very well. The likes of Samson and Lamini getting a good taste of the ball, Thuli.
Asibonke ke kakhulu ke Erike sisho ke sithi ke esila eKimberley umdlalo ke phakathi ke kweqembu ke leCity Leds elivakashile lisuka le eEastern Cape livakashele ke iRichmond United yabona ke iCity Leds namhlanje ke iyazi ukuthi ekwenzeke emidlalweni ke odlule basangaphinda ke ebakwenze ngoba emidlalweni ke wabo ke odlule ke banqobile okokuqala ngqa kule season ke ngemuva ke kwemidlalo ke engu9 bengakwazi ke ukuthi ke bathole ke iwin ke yokuqala ke kuyona ke isizini uzokhumbula ke iCity Leds ukuthi iqembu ke elifikayo ke kuyona ke iHWBSL Super League ngoba lipromotwe ke lapha kuyona ke iSasoli kanye neVasco da Gama iwona ke amaqembu amabili ke ajoine iHWBSL Super League njengoba ke manje sesinamaqembu angu 16 iCity Leds yase Eastern Cape edlala ke nayo ke iRichmond yakhona ke la eNorthern Cape yabona ke iRichmond njengoba ke lamaqembu ehlangana ke okokuqala ke nqa awazani kodwa ke iRichmond ke iyona izinto ke zawo ke zihamba kahle kakhulukazi mabedlala ekhaya abakaze bashawe kule nkundla iyona ke iRichmond imidlalo nje emine bayiwine yonke abayo ke iRichmond United njengoba ke bezithola ke behlezi laphana ke ku number 10 yabona ke lo mdlalo owugcina ke kule mpela sonto ngoba ke ngaphambi kwalomdlalo sibone ke iGolden Ladies ezibamba ngempela ke ezaqina ngesikhathi ke idlala ke idraw kaNot ane Celtic kanti ke izolo besineminye ke imidlalo njengoba iUJ sibone ke ishawa ke iyona ke iTUT ngawo ke laphana ke u1-0 Thunderbirds nayo ke futhi ke yazitholela ke amaphuzu agcwele ke ngesikhathi ke ibhaqabula ke iVasco kanti ke ima-Indies yaqhubeka nje nokwenza kahle njengoba ke nayo ke inqobe ke ngawo ke u1-0 ishaya ke iDurban Ladies eqembu ke laseThekwini iyona ke imidlalo esinayo ke la ngale mpela sonto njengoba sazi ukuthi eqembu ke lesizwe ibanyana isekhempini ingakho ke amanye ke amaqembu engakwazi ke ukuthi ke adlale ke ngoba ke amaqembu afana ke no Sundowns no JVW OUWC banabadlali ke abaningi ababiziwe ke uyena ke umqeqeshi ke oDesiree Ellis njengoba elungiselela okuya ke laphana ke eMorocco ingakho ke sinemidlalo le engibalile ke kuyona ke le mpela sonto sibona ke ishoti bezama ke laphana ke uJanuary atharene January 19 years odlala ke njengomgadli ke kulona ke leqembu layo ke iCity Leds yabona ke mawubheka ukuthi iCity Leds enjani ke ukushaya ke amagoli nokwadedela uma uqhathanisa nayo ke la iRichmond United iCity Leds emidlalweni ke eyu9 sebededele amagoli ke awu27 bona ke base ke beshaya ke awu7 kanti iRichmond yona iyawashaya amagoli elinye lamaqembu eliwashaya amagoli ngempela ngoba basebashaye 24 kanti futhi badedela ke awu18 ingakho sithi abakaze bashawe kule nkundla ngoba amagoli bayawashaya inkinga yabo nje maseke betravela nalithuba phezukwepali inkinga yeRichmond mangabe bedlala ekuhambeni baba nenkinga kodwa kule nkundla abanazi inkinga asazi ke namhlanje noma lokho iCity Leds izokushintsha noma ke kuzoqhubeka njengoba ubona nje laphana ke kade ke kuzama yena ke laphana ke umsila
uchoda lapha ucross ibhola elihle bangalibheka kahle but what's important wena thula kule nto ishoyo ukustrike ibalance ungayenza kahle ekhaya but noma nasekuhambeni at least ucollect points because sometimes ziyabuya zikushaya futhi kule season njoba kunembazi kunezembe kuzoshuba kakhulu kuzoba nedatha so ama teams they need to make sure ukuthi they find ibalance between mawuwin ekhaya ngaphandle if uthi uluza uthola ipoint but if ubheka ukhuluma ngeRichmond baqinile la ekhaya bayakhiya yila bafocusa khona and uyamuzwa lomqeqeshi ukuthi makakhuluma ama-interviews wakho ukhulume ukuzithemba ukuthi la ekhaya kukwakhe la wenza noma yini ugibela phezu kwamasofa
khona ke la ethinteke khona ke laphana ke unoxolo ongxasa ngesikhathi ke kade ke kuyi throw in waseke emthinta ke laphana ke usinazo uNtshotha ingakho ke esimbona ke elimala ke ehlezi phansi baphumela ke naye ngephandle yabona ke esengiqaphele kakhulu la kuselokhu nje iqalile lemidlalo yeHWBSL Super League kunama injuries amaningi futhi abhlungu no Salgado ulimalile akasakwazi ukuya ku national team ugoalkeeper wase eTsunami naye futhi ulimalile sise Bethlehem maningi nje ama injuries akhona kulesi
kuyenzakala Thuli umdlalo webhola unjalo a lot of injuries because remember ama actions ujika la uqhubeka ugijima wenza zonke izinto so ama actions maningi kakhulu and kule bhola sibona kakhulu ukuthi kunabadlali aba skillful sometimes babanike attention yana hayi ukuthi bayabalimaza but kunalento ye aggression so i aggression is in a different level and it shows ukuthi no kuyasetshenzwa.
Itsepiso Khadebe 26 years uyena ke uphethe ke ibhola njengoba ke ushintsha ke kamnandi ke umdlalo asibone ke iJwane bafuna ke yena ke lapha bebefuna ke uthandeka Ncambe kodwa ke ibhola ke alangafika akuyena ke lapha uthandeka Ncambe base ke belungisa kahle kakhulu nje abayo ke lapha iCity Lets andisiwe Ndesi ofuna ke laphana ke uBoy bamthola labuyela kuandisiwe athi ke ulibeka ke laphana ke bafuna ke uJanuary alifiki ke ibhola ke kuyena ke uJanuary yabona ke namhlanje eRichmond United njengoba sikhuluma ukuthi liyawashaya amagoli leqembu namhlanje umgadlo wabo onamagoli awu9 kulawa awu24 sebawashayile akekho ukwecamping kwi-national team sizobona ke namhlanje ukuthi bayakwazini ukuthi badlale ngaphandle kwanithabise ngemajiya
kusho ukuthi namhlanje abekho phakathi kwamhlanje nembeleko because umuntu owashayela amagoli akekho namhlanje but also naku City Lets ubuyile idefend enkulu uNjongweni unumber 12 lapha yami so bekuzoba yimpi enkulu kabi amasotsha namaphoyisa mangayibheka kahle because uNjongweni uyakhiya naye
Richmond bafuna ke yena ke uSamson bamthola asibone ke ibhola ke lapha Dlamini nalithuba lapha yabhakuzi nethi awone Richmond anothi iyona ke iCity Lets Michelle Samson igoli lakhe lesikhombisa kule season uSamson
igoli lakhe lesikhombisa Thuli but ngikhulumile ngama outlets ama threats la wayi2 uSamson noDlamini because bheka uDlamini gets an opportunity takes a shot but very good save from ugoalkeeper lapha but rebound uSamson ukhona uthi ngikhona ngerebound mangayibheka kahle but uDlamini a good shot but good save also from ugoalkeeper ushot nge-second phase ukuthi bamdefendele yona because sekawenzile umsebenzi wokuqala Samson badila ngerebound
asibone futhi iyabuya futhi ke laphana ke Richmond United uyena futhi ke uDlamini awufuna ukugoba uDlamini khona kiki lo hlangothi ilwanga kwesokudla iright yeRichmond ithanda ukuthi ke ibe inkinga inikeza kakhulu idefense inkinga yeCity Lets
bayazibhova uSamson noDlamini Thule emaceleni ngapha ngoba istokfela mangabheka kahle the reason bazibhova bayuza lesa speed sabo ebengitshele ngaso ukuthi hey usigade namhlanje sizoyenza abantu busy namhlanje
ikhona yayo ke iRichmond United ethathwa ke uyena futhi ke Samson eyinhle kodwa ke bayavimba ke laphana ke enandipha Boy onamagoli ke amabili ke kule season uyabuya futhi uSamson alizophakama ke iflag kodwa ke sekukhona ke iOffside kuyona ke laphana ke iRichmond United Ndesi unikeza ke uBoy ke abadlali abanesipiliyoni ke bobabili kule qembu oansiwe Ndesi naye ke uNandipha Boy futhi ke ibona bebenesandla esikhulu ngesikhathi kudlalwa ke ama championship laphana ke eThekwini ngesikhathi bepromothwa uyena ke uandisiwe uNdesi ke namanje ke base umgogodla wayo leli qembu elayo ke iCity Lets asibone futhi Richmond ngakwesokudla ke manje ethandeka Ncambe oyadlula kodwa ke liyavinjwa ke ibhola ke liyabuya kothiwa alibuye lizophoswa
hey Thula ushukela mningi la angazi noma ubonile lo yashukela ukuthi ungakanani mkhulu kakhulu loya uqeda umuntu ngapha uDlamini on the right hand side, but thuli namhlanje fanele abantu ungeze empini eyibhamu uze ne-okap because la namhlanje sizobona amagoli la because mangabheka kahle Richmond emaceleni uSamson noDlamini nisazoyiphinda futhi le nto leyo kunedust.
Richmond iyabuya futhi ke lapha kodwa ke uyavimba emuva ke lapha ayanda njongweni yalwina nje kalula futhi ke laphana ke Richmond yabona ke bayawavula inhlangothi zonke kodwa ke uhlangothi abalifuna kakhulu ngapha ke ngakwesokudla ke uyena la oDlamini kodwa ke njengoba ke sibheke sihlanganisa ke 20 minutes ebhodini sithi one iqembu lasekhaya eRichmond United and not izivakashi iCity Lads.
The goal has been coming, and it's the number 19, Michelle Sampson, of course, who got it for Richmond United after a very good save from Ntei. And a very good shot from Dlamini. Dlamini and Sampson working very well in combination with each other on the wings. And it was Michelle Sampson that time who got her name and burst the net. Very good work from the young winger, of course, but now the ascendancy is with City Lads. They do need to respond with a goal of their own, and they can't afford to concede a second before that half-time whistle goes, so it's crucial for them to stay in this encounter, even if it means you defend that one goal advantage. But it's one then, the ball is put in, and no one meeting it in the box. And shots are doing very well there on the right-hand flank. Now eventually put back in from City Lad. And Mhlanga, rather lackluster of a ball. Not quite finding or looking for anyone exactly, but nonetheless, Richmond United looking very solid in defense and attack.
Ray also wanted to pay attention to the fact that City Lads needs to improve the speed of play. I mean, by using the one touch, sometimes they delay with an extra touch. So it allows the Richmond to recover and regroup, and obviously with numerical superiority. But I believe this game, it's all about nullifying each other in that midfield, because both teams are using the same setup in terms of the 4-5-1 formation. So the midfield is very locked, it's overpopulated. So both teams, they can only find the progression on the wide areas.
The moments of difference will come in those wide areas, and it has risen already in the form of Michelle Sampson. City Lads now on the ball, losing out there to Msila, and trying to throw a ball through there for Dlamini, who was waiting here on the right-hand flank. City Lads trying to keep it in there, of course. Left back boy, 34 years of age, a rather experienced campaigner there on the back line for City Lads, and definitely something that the City Lads team do have a joy over, is having such experience in their backline. Tei, the goalkeeper, of course, a 38-year-old, previously played for Birmingham FC and Thunderbirds FC. City Lads, of course, are also known as the Gunners. And Shota there with a throw-in on the far side of the field. She's forced to retreat. She wanted to make up a couple of yards, rather sneaky from the left back, but the referee does send her back. And the Richmond United defence always seem to be on their toes. They always seem to note when City Lads try and get that through ball through.
But also, I want you, the fact that City Lads are saying they're not pressing high, they drop into the mid block section. But also, when they press, they want to reduce the load on their defensive line.
And Shota gets away from her man and wins the corner for City Lads. Of course, the Sasa League playoffs runners-up for 2021, the team from the Eastern Cape, a side that was founded, in a club that was founded in the year of 1995. And their first corner opportunity for City Lads. And it's Nshota who seems to be the main source of threat for the City Lads team as the ball comes in. And Njongweni trying to get at the end of it, but cross not quite matching her leap. And another throw-in for the City Lads side, Makalima. City lads will definitely be hoping to slow down the progress made by Richmond United. But it's put over the top here for Dlamini. She seems to be through. She puts on her wheels. And the keeper eventually intervenes after a heavy touch from the young right winger, Dlamini. City lads, they've rather been taken aback by this really good start from Richmond United in the opening 25 minutes. Currently find themselves with their back against the wall, and the coach did say, Coach Terry Moreira, that the confidence is high within the camp after their first win. But there's nothing that can dilute your confidence than conceding an early goal from Richmond United.
Accurate, Ray, very important to highlight that. Yes, coming from the win during the week, but now they didn't start very well in this game, conceding early in the critical phase of the game. What's also important, I've been speaking to some coaches, the psychological aspect in terms of application and how the players apply themselves. It becomes an issue because sometimes you don't know how they're gonna apply themselves. So they've been working so much on the psychological aspect, which is a critical factor in the modern football.
Goal attempts 5-3 in favour of Richmond United. 2 of those coming on target. And the ball given away there almost, but City lads coming away with it. Possession seems rather evenly spread. Interestingly enough, City lads operating with 53% of the ball, but the key thing is where they keep that ball and where they play around, and it's Richmond United who have the possession in these dangerous areas. City lads just haven't operated enough in those strike areas.
I think also with City lads, I spoke about their speed of play. You look at how slow they come up from defense to attack, how rapidly they transition the ball to front to January and Jacobs. It allows Richmond to regroup. And now when the team regroups, they have more numbers. Now it's difficult to break the block.
And it's put over here for Sampson once again. Michelle Sampson hoping to get a brace, but an offside call to the frustration of the crowd here in attendance. Not liking that call from the linesman, but nonetheless it stands, and Michelle Sampson maybe just creeping beyond the offside line there.
If we look at it, it's a good pass from Pambani, but again you must highlight the fact that at the time the ball was played, Sampson was already jumped. Remember, sometimes the assistant will get caught by the speed of the players on the white areas, no Sampson. So the offside calls sometimes they won't be accurate.
Michelle Sampson, definitely not a pleasant sight for these Richmond United fans. They've already lost 3 of their star players and now losing their goal scorer. Michelle Sampson might just prove costly. And once again, it's the roll of the ankle that's proving to be the downfall of these Richmond United attackers.
Again, she twisted an ankle in that situation. We spoke about the pitch before the game started. Remember, we highlighted the fact that the pitch is a bit dry, and obviously there are a bit of holes there and there, but unfortunately it happens. It's the name of the game. This is a pitch we're using. Both sides are using the same pitch.
Sampson, of course, still taking her time on the green grass. City lads trying to thread it through, and they've done exactly that. City lads and Shota snuffed out by Mutsabi. And then Shota swapping flanks and getting a really good shot. An attempt at goal, as we can see Dlamini on the other side of the field, trying to get into action. And Intei scratching it away. City lads rather playing with fire at the back, dancing with the devil, and it's Richmond United who get away with it once again. She shifts it onto her right foot. Radebe, Dlamini, and it's headed away from City lads. And that moment of danger eventually passes for the team from the Eastern Cape as they look to come away with it now, and it's a ball over the top too, and Shota who darts through, a little ball through there, not quite managing to deal with it very well. Mutsabe making a very good save there from that early shot from Nsota. A lovely run, and trying to thread it in between the legs of the keeper there.
I believe the better option could have rounded the keeper in that situation, because the keeper was spreading herself. So Shota needed to round the keeper, because he already made a decision of saying, I'm going out and I'm going for a tackle in this situation. She needed to round the keeper to terminate.
City lads now on the far side of the field, and the ball into the box, not causing any harm whatsoever to Richmond United, and that's been the tale of the story Tale of the game so far is Lamini puts on the wheels once again. She loves a run here on the right-hand flanks. Almost skips away there from the experienced boy. Richmond United now with a throw-in deep within City Lads, and Tuli, it seems as if Richmond United are getting rather comfortable, and it seems as if they've really hit their stride in this encounter.
Richmond United iyakhombisa ukuthi ke idlala ke ekhaya ke idlala enkundleni eyazi kahle kunazo zonke inkundla abadlala ke kuzona, futhi ke asebekhombisile ukuthi bona akulula ukuthi ke ubakhiphe esibayeni ke esabo ke, njengoba ke behamba phambili ngegoli ke elodwa ke eqandeni elishawe ke uyena ke laphana ke uSamson. Yabona ke Samson oyawashivalela phakathi ngempela ke amagoli ngoba unama brace amabili ngesikhathi ke beshaya ke iTsunami ngo5-1. Oyena ke omunye ke washaya ke amagoli ke amabili kulo mdlalo, ngesikhathi ke beshaya ke futhi Vasco ngo4-1. oSamson ke wayekhona futhi ke kwabashaya ke amagoli, waphinda futhi ke ngesikhathi beshaya ke first touch 7-0 amagoli amabili wawavalela phakathi ke oSamson. Kanti ke ngomdlalo ke wabo ke wokuqala ngesikhathi ke dlala ke nayo ke iJVW bedliwa 10-2, kodwa uyena uSamson noMajiya abavalela phakathi ke amagoli. Asibonele khona amakhona mabili ngapha bakhetha ke ukuyidlala, banikeza umhlanga, bayaligoba kodwa ke alithola umuntu ke eboxini. Abayo ke iCity Lads uyalungisa, uyalithatha ke lapha Thandeka Ngcambe, banikeza uDlamini, uyinkinga uDlamini ephela endlebeni, nangi bathi ulibeka ke lapha ke endleleni yakhe lapha ukwanele edayiwe, kodwa ke wase ke ephuma ke ugoalkeeper oyalithatha ke uAmanda Nteyi, 38 years uzalelwe laphana ke eGqeberha kwaZakhele. Asedlalele ke iBirmingham City nayo ke iThunderbirds ke amaqembu akhona ke laphana ke ngakubo. Goalkeeper futhi onesipiliyoni, abona ke leqembu linabadlali abaningi abanesipiliyoni futhi asebedlale isikhathi eside njengayo ke ugoalkeeper Nteyi, ibona ke oBoy oandisiwe lapha Ndesi. Njengoba ke leqembu lasungulwa ngo1995 liyakhombisa ukuthi indlela vele kade ke lifuna ukuthi lize ligcine lizibona lidlala la kwiHollywood, ligcine futhi abadlali bayabanesipiliyoni abaziculture yeqembu.
Isipiliyoni awusilahli Thuli esingaka, because isipiliyoni esikhulu isipiliyoni esingasiza iclub. You build iclub yakho through leso sipiliyoni leso. Abadlali abasha abancane abafikayo bazothola boNteyi, bazothola boBoy, oNdesi abazobaguide ukuthi iculture la ekhaya kuphilwa kanje la ekhaya, sidla kanje inyama.
Richmond yinhle le through ball futhi ke uonside oSamson, asingabe sigalibona yini igoli ke lesibili. Ha laphakama iflag, liphakeme iflag.
Ukhumbule ngishilo ngathi sizowabona la maphutha amaningi kangaka wabo assistant, because sometimes ama player ane speed Thuli a confuse abo assistant, because at the time ibhola abadlala quick off the mark, mara sibuke kahle ke sibuke kahle. At the time ipass bayidlala beka already on the offside, a good call. Asinikeni ngecredit ayithole kahle la assistant.
Uyabona ke ucaptain ke wale qembu uBoy omunye ke futhi ke osedlala isikhathi eside, ngesikhathi ke engakadlali ke la ngaphambi kokuthi ke afike kule qembu ubedlalela eCape Town Roses eCape Town, nayo eqembu ke ngempela ke elalishisa, edlala ke noNoxolo Cesane lo manje olapha eqenjini ke lesizwe abanyana. Lo 3 points abawuthole emidlalweni odlule oyena ke uNandipha Boy ovalele phakathi ke lelo goli ke base ke bewuthatha 3 points abayo ke iCity Lads.
Bangayibheka lena ke uyithole akayitholanga kahle, because at the time ibhola balidlala umpambani bekangekho ku offside position. So ngishilo ngathi uzowabona lamaphutha amangaka and angeke umblame, because mawukhuluma commissioner bakhuluma ukuthi it's a work in progress, kuzolunga, because they having these workshops ukubasiza uNompempe nabasizi babo ukuthi bakwazi ukuthola accurate lama offside la.
Uyabona ke nangu ke la lasibona khona ke ethinteka ke yena ke lapha Ongqambe baphuma ke naye ke ngaphandle kodwa ke uyathembisa ke ukuthi ke uzobuya azoqhubeka ke nawo ke lapha ke kumdlalo Samson ngempela ke wabukhohlwa nje uyena elona ke legoli ke lakhe ke lapha ke uSamson liqale kuyena walibeka ngakwesokudla kuDlamini wathi ulivalela phakathi uDlamini wasave ugoalkeeper wasefika ke lapha ke uSamson eza ke kwi rebound lase ke likhala ke phakathi ingakho ke sithi 1-0 ehamba phambili ke iyona ke Richmond United uyalungisa lapha uNolitha Msila esingini ke esecenter bamthathela bafuna yena futhi uMichelle Samson ayijubane kuyafiwa kuSamson naba manje banikeza kwanele uphezulu kwedilani banikeza uDlamini kuleyo ndawo nangeligoba uDlamini nalithuba lapha yaphakusi nethi egoli lesibili uMichelle Samson elihle igoli ushaya amagoli amahle uSamson imove yebhola njalo iqala kuyena aqalaze abona uDlamini ngempela uyazi ukuthi mangabe kunika kanje usuke sekweyipi position ulibeka nje endleleni yakhe lapha uSamson
mayibuka kahle Juli impinda yegoal lokuqala liyafana naleli liqale la uSamson ulitholile ukuthi siveza nje kanje but uSamson ke walithintanyana wavula on the left hand side but na into moment important le cross le kaDlamini uyazi ukuthi engena mvumela ukuthi ashaya isigubhu lapha wenzani uyadeliver uyaphaka uphakile lapha Juli
assist yesibili yakhe ke lapha ke uNtawulenke eDlamini assist yesibili ke kulomdlalo ayikho into ade ezenza ke ugoalkeeper la ngoba ke uphambane nalo ibhola
itechnique eyuzo uSamson lapha ehlula abantu abaningi bheka uyifinisha kanjani in step technique emnandi kakhulu lapha kuyasho ukuthi hayi no uphekiwe
yabona manje uSamson usenamagoli ke awu8 njengoba ke lamagoli amabili ke iyona ke iRichmond ihamba phambili kwamagoli akhe ufica manje ke uMichelle Aminizi ona 8 goals ushoda ngegoli elilodwa ukuthi ke abeke negoli namagoli ke awu9 afike lapha kuNthabe Isenge Majiya walo leqembu okuyena i-top goal scorer yale qembu bese kuthi ke futhi abanye banawu9 uBoyitumelo Rabale kanjalo ke futhi ke noAndisiwe uMgcoyi kodwa bo leqembu liyawashaya amagoli alwancengi ngempela ngoba ke nabo otayiwe laba bayawashaya amagoli naba futhi bayabuya yabona abagadli baleqembu bayawenza umsebenzi
ukufind ibalance Juli kubalulekile ukuthi uyithole ibalance ungawashaya amagoli mara isitoro masivuliwe ngasemuva abantu bazoyitapela phela so bawashaya amagoli kona oJiyani but ukuthi important Juli fanele umqeqeshi asebenze ngesetup yakhe ukuthi ithole ibalance bakwazi ukuthi bancishane ngamagoli emuva baqhubeke bawashaya
offside oyiboneke kahle futhi ke lapha ke umsizi kaNompempe engakho ke lapha ke liphakeme ke iflag uyabona ke mobheka ngempela ke amaqembu awashaya amagoli eSundowns ke iyona ehamba ke phambili ina 46 ebese ke ulethe ke iyona lapha JVW ina 25 amagoli ke sewashayile ebese kuthi ke emva kwabo ke oJVW usuthola bona ke oRichmond United njengoba ke seyishaye ke 26 naku 2 onside futhi uSamson nangeliphasa asibone nali ithuba lapha yabhakuzi nethi yabhakuzi nethi 3-0 score akanawo umona oSamson yabona manje utayiwe ushaya igoli ke lakhe lesina sibone ukuthi beyingekhona iOffside la noma
beyikhona Thuli beyikhona le ngishilo ngathi yabona lama moments uassistant usenkingeni namhlanje hayi no uzomfakela ukushisa but in terms of uSamson makayenza le pass kutayiwa definitely bekungana offside but the initially leyokuqala le beyikhona iOffside uSamson ubonisa ukuhlakanipha kakhulu ukuthi no engeli ivaliwe ugoalkeeper ungikhiyele la think shift responsibility responsibility good finish from Utaiwa, but the City Lads, I think Lamakola was surprised. Bebakabang was with Karakalum Jalo, but I no Baba look she's on them.
Utaiwa ushage igoli ke lesine kulesizini. Yabona umdlalo ke woqala ke ebesinawo ke la kule nkundla. Opheleke ngedraw ka not Celtic idlala ke ene Golden Ladies kodwa nje lo ayamagoli ngempela ke akhona njengoba ke esasibone ke amathathu iyona ke iRichmond iyakhombisa ngempela ukuthi beyulungele ke lo mdlalo isombe isoqala banamagoli ke amathathu Ondesi uyababiza njengoba ke belikhiphela ke ngaphandle 3-0 esco kosele 5 minutes ukuthi siye ke ekhefini.
Richmond United most certainly spoiling their fans here this afternoon with 3-0. Brace in the form of Samson and also the provider acting as the provider for Taiwe, who capped off the 3-0 advantage. And it seems as if everything is going through Michelle Sampson, a centerpiece for this Richmond United side. And Ngambe, the number 6, the midfielder for Richmond United, often joining in attacks on that right-hand side. And they now have a set-piece opportunity here to add to their lead. The cross does go in. And almost sneaking in there did Taiwe. And it's City Lads with a really disappointing first half showing. And a lot to do in the second half. Mountain Everest to climb. And it might just go to show why, in fact, they do find themselves just above that relegation zone as Nshota just gets it ahead of Ngasa. Dlamini, once again running out of room, but it is a City Lads ball. Richmond United, like their counterparts, are very much the new kids on the block and have entered the fray after their establishment in 2013. The club is based here in the Northern Cape, and they'll be hoping to use every last home supporter's voice to their advantage, and they've done exactly that. Michelle Sampson getting at the end of countless opportunities for Richmond United. It's wave after wave of attack, and it seems as if it's only a matter of time before Richmond United just add and add to their lead.
Dominance like this is also important, but also very can be a downfall. So as much as you are 3 up, keep to your principle, keep to your discipline. But I'm a bit worried with City Lads, Ray. I mean, they're very slow in transitioning between the two holding midfielders in the midfield. Their movement and combination, you can see that it results in a turnover. And a turnover, there's always Dlamini on the side and with Samson. So they need to be cautious with regards to how they transition in that midfield. To play the ball just behind the defense of Richmond Ladies.
The energy storage of City Lads might just be depleted before that half-time whistle goes, and for Coach Terry Marura, it must be interesting to see what he comes up with in that second half and how he can get into the heads of his players. So much to do for the City Lads team, but as I mentioned, it's so important for them not to come out in the second half and remember that they are 3-0 down. It's better to come back, start afresh, 0-0, and rebuild from there. And you might not come away with a win, but you will play with a sense of pride and determination in that second half.
There's a lot of tactical adjustment that the City Lads needs to fix going to the second half.
And now with a hat-trick chance for Samson, dancing around. Samson once again looking for support now. Taiwe, and a block on the line, and the referee says it's a handball. Rather cynical from City Lads. And she reaches for her pocket, and it's a yellow for the number 5, Zengana.
Yeah.
The centre-back just guilty there. Almost Luis Suarez style back in the World Cup, where he just shot out his hand, but Samson
breaks. She breaks again on the left using her speed. But I think the first one she needed to give to the next player. She was a bit selfish in that situation. But again, Taiwo directly to Ngazana. I thought Samson is doing so well on the side.
And our penalty opportunity here. HWB. A chance to take the lead to 4 now before that half-time whistle goes. The crowd definitely upping the intensity. Can HWB convert from the spot? No, but it's a wonderful save from City lads. Exactly what they needed. Very good save from Ntei there. I mentioned her experience, the 38-year-old playing for both Birmingham City and Thunderbirds FC, guessing the right side and making an incredible save.
A great save, Ray. But again, highlight the important part. She didn't just went for a dive. She waited for her to go to connect with the ball. That is why she was able to make that great save.
Richmond United with yet again another throw-in. But Spiwe, I was thinking about it just before you said anything. Michelle Sampson was on a hat-trick, and I do understand that teams have a certain penalty taken and it's fixed and it doesn't really change. But surely Michelle Sampson must be scratching her head and wondering, the play in form, surely she has to take the penalty.
I think in training there's an accustomed penalty taker, the one who takes the penalties in the game. So yes, Sampson has done well in this game, but
City lads might just be 3, and Shota into the side netting. A chance there out of nothing for City lads. The ball forward. And then Shota with a real good opportunity to cut that deficit into 2.
Communication issue there between the goalkeeper Umutsabi and Muketi. They need to communicate. Now they allowed Nancy to get in front of them. And she was lucky there, because look at the tackle. The ref would have given a penalty in this situation.
A little bit of a late tackle there, but nonetheless play does continue. 3 minutes have been added on. Just a minute and a half, 90 seconds to go in this encounter, and it's exactly been a game that we expect from the HWBSL Super League. Non-stop action from both teams. Richmond United, it seemed as if they were moments away from capitalizing and getting their 4th goal, but City lads said no way, and from that formed their own chance to score their own goal. So plenty still to play for in this game, it must be said.
With City lads, they need to take their line of confrontations a bit higher. You've got nothing to lose. The game is through. You are 3-0 down. So obviously it's about the speed of play in the midfield, which becomes critical, because you have Ushota and Mhlanga on the side who are speedy. So utilize that. That's your weapon. But it's Richmond ladies who are United. You need to keep to the principles. You are 3-0 up. Be disciplined more enough. And obviously now you attack through the moments. You wait for the right moment, because you are 3-0 up, man.
Now a goal kick taken from Mokete. Richmond United doing so well to win those scraps and win that second ball in the midfield and spread it so rapidly and so effortlessly to their wingers, as we can see there. Taiwe challenging for the ball in the air, and it must be said that Richmond United challenge every single second ball, and when they press as a team. So very good team performance from Richmond United. I mentioned they're missing some of their star players, but there's some players most certainly stepping up to the plate, like the likes of Dlamini, who puts it in surely. Taiwe not quite nodding home, and you can see the frustration in her face there.
But highlight the vertical ball progression from Umpambani, from the slow motion. Look at that killer pass. It's a vertical ball progression, but I like the intelligence from Jamin. Look, she doesn't even look in the box. Delivers a very good cross. Taiwan needed to terminate. There's no excuse there. Sampson was behind. She could have gone for it, but now strikers, you know, when it comes to those situations, they'll go for it.
And that is that, ladies and gentlemen. It's the end of the first half, and it's been a half that we've witnessed wonderful saves, last-ditch interventions, and of course the typical poacher's brace from that lady on screen, Michelle Sampson. All smiles from Richmond United, and frustration and despair from City lads. And Richmond United have a 3-0 unassailable lead from this first 45 minutes, so they'll be really happy with their efforts in the first half. City lads, however, have it all to do in the second. as we just have a look at the stature from that first half. And the stats replicate what we saw on screen. Richmond United, 12 shots at goal compared to the 6 from City Lads. 8 of those on target from Richmond United. And so many offsides, so that just shows the likes of Dlamini.
But if you look at this ball position, it shows that Richmond United total dominance, total ratio when it comes to passing. You can see the 45 to 55. That means now City Lads have been dominating when it comes to total pass ratio. With crosses, yes, again Richmond Ladies dominate that angle. But when it comes to tackles made, Richmond aggressive. You can see they really want this game. So let's see what City Lads are going to do in terms of the response.
The entertainment levels have certainly not died down, but Fusiwe now on the pitch side, giving us her halftime analytics, and it's been a wonderful game, but do join us for the second half shortly.
Thank you so much to our commentary team. It has been a wonderful game indeed. Coming into this encounter, Coach Disene spoke about how in their previous encounter against Durban Ladies, they dominated play, but not being able to move that across into that score sheet. And today they've managed to fix that problem, finding the back of the net 3 times so far in this encounter. So he will be a happy coach going into the halftime break. But for City Lads, the visitors here today, they do have a mountain to climb. Not only is it a physical one, but also a psychological one. So it will be interesting to see what Coach Terry Mkhwehwe says to his team during this halftime break so that they can come back into this encounter with guns blazing in the second half. Kodwa manje eNingizimu Afrika isikhathi sokuthi sithathe ikhefu ningaindawo emva kwekhefu. It will be the 3 ladies in studio giving us their halftime analysis. Do stay tuned to SABC1.
Dan, I know that meat looks tender, but not so much when your chest is burning. Remember the last time? Yeah, wow, Bob. Iring had been mungani.
Ngashi, in any situation, Eno gets to work in 6 seconds to relieve the 6 symptoms of heartburn.
I don't know about you, but I know what I want. I want to be entertained. I want to be thrilled. All of the jets. I want excitement. I want options. Variety. I want it today, tonight, tomorrow. I want it all. That's why Hollywood Bets.
New Advanced Shield, now with 72-hour non-stop protection. The more you move, the harder it works. Try new Shield, now with 72-hour non-stop protection.
You are what you fill up on. Fill up on showing up. Fill up on timeless moments as a time. Fill up on turn up.
Do you ever think of what your skin goes through every day? In game time and playtime. Dove Men Plus Care protects and cares for your skin with 48-hour protection and triple action moisturizer.
Anna, ufumana television ka DStv, OpenView, StarSat ka pa di streaming platform, o ka sebella mathata ka hodima ha analog. Ufumana dintlha tse ding le ho netefatsa hore TV ya hao ke ya digital kapa tjhe. Etela www.dcdt.co.za. Romela molaetsa wa WhatsApp ho 0600 625 458. Shintsha ungasale. Go digital. Molaetsa ona o tliseditswe ke Department ya Communications le Digital Technologies.
Welcome back. Well, Richmond United were a wounded team coming into this Hollywood Bets Super League encounter against City Lads, and they've responded with a very loud 3-0 scoreline at the halftime break. It was the Samson show, Simona Michelle getting those 8 goals so far for this season. But of course, it started with City Lads, even though they've had only 3 shots on target. But as early as the 6th minute, they were already knocking on the door.
They were already knocking on the door because Unchota, she she plays as a left striker, and this is an incredible run from her. All she needed to do was keep her composure, push the ball further away from the goalkeeper. But again, the goalkeeper came blazing there to make it difficult for her, close the angle as quickly as possible so that she takes a shot. And that was a brilliant save from the goalkeeper, Mutabi.
And in terms of that first goal that came in the 17th minute, Unte had done such a great job in saving it. But of course, Michelle Sampson close by, making sure that she finishes it off.
But for me, Dlamini has really been an exceptional player on the wing, showing her gutsy performance. As short as she is, capitalizing on the spaces that's being opened up defensively. Boy and Makalima leaving those pockets, allowing her to make that strike at the keeper. And what a follow-up.
And it really has been, you know, that's really why we know why Richmond have been so dominant at home, able to find the back of the net. City Lads, of course, was not going to sit back and relax. Again, Mutabi coming with a very solid stopper at that goal.
Again, you can see Unchota has changed now. She's on the right, on the left, rather. And again, it's just them not finding way to get to the back of the net, because it's a transition from defense to attack, because in Richmond, when they're attacking, they push a high line because they are pressing as high as they can to try and get the space behind the defense here, City Lads. And this is the moment again where the goalkeeper says, not on my watch. She gets there this time, she gets a hang of it and is able to launch an attack as quickly as possible.
And now we understand why the coach was saying Umachia will really not be missed that much, because Sampson has come to the party. This was her 8th goal of the season, and what a goal it was, Gloria.
A beautiful ball, absolutely. When you look at the technique, the quality, I think there's so much one can learn from that execution. Dlamini whipping in a decent ball. Intention very clear, looking for Sampson coming from the blind side. She has great vision and the ability to just sneak behind defenders and find the spaces, being unmarked. Sampson's really a good find for Richmond.
In the 38th minute, City Lads were already 3-0 down, and that was courtesy of Ukananelo Taiwa scoring, and this one being her 4th goal for the season thus far.
I'm glad to see her really play to her true potential. I still want to see her scoring from a header, you know. But this is, again, what Richmond is good at. They take it wide with the wings, and that's what Coach Edwin said. He wants to take it wide to the wings, make sure Dlamini no Sampson stretch the defense here, City Lads. And Kananelo and Ngambe are the ones that are interchanging. If Kani is collecting, Ngambe goes forward, and vice versa. So they know exactly. Dlamini get the ball, cross it in. Sampson is there to pick a spot. They are brave enough to get in there. And Klo, I think, he speeds up going forward. And that is a difference between City Lads and Richmond. It's speed.
And of course, Lana Uongezwa took such a huge risk in getting Ilento a penalty for Richmond United. But of course, it paid off later, because we saw that Unte actually saved it. But really, Sampson,
when I initially looked at that, I didn't think it was really a penalty, because she was trying to turn away and give it back to the ball. But look, at the end of the day, when you really got to dissect it, yes, the call is spot on. Sharing the goalkeeper, 2 intelligent players, just making sure that the keeper doesn't really recover. But yeah, I think the goalkeeper doing exceptionally well there in making that save. But that's, for me, a little bit of a heartbreak. Brilliantly taken set piece in terms of the penalty, but then we've got to also give credit to the goalkeeper. She's done exceptionally well.
Absolutely, because had Unte not saved that, we would be talking about a 4-0 scoreline. After this ad break, we take a look at that substitution list. What can City Lads do to ensure that they get back into this game? Don't miss out.
People are eating more and more acidic food, which can cause enamel loss and may lead to tooth sensitivity and yellowing. Pro-enamel will drive in more minerals into the enamel structure so that the enamel is stronger and more resilient to acid. New Pro-enamel has been specially designed for enamel protection.
Siyabathikoni nebandla sibonile ukuthi akekho omunye umuntu ongalingana kulezi zicathulo zikaMelosi uJafta yedwa.
Ndizocela uba uyihambe nawo le ndlela ehambayo. undibambe ngesandla njengomamfundisi.
Ziyakhala in our brand new drama, Identity, Sundays at 7:30 on SABC1. Zanzi, for sure.
Ubaba mi is against ibelief yami yokuba isangoma.
modimo a di batle dilo tse
A ke rate kereke ya hao. Ke hona mo tletseng yona le moyeng.
I feel right mo pelong ya lezi that's not nix lezi ungabona gqoke tsone iplan efuna imali
Una le pelo embi.
noma ndifile angifuni ukubona duza wathunala
Hey.
awusi yena ndisayifuni siyona le
On Roxic, Tuesdays at 6 on SABC1.
Ngiphuphe ngivuka ngekusasa lami egcamile. Really? Awuze nazo.
You guys ready? Please, don't practice here.
The youth of 76 took a stand in fighting yesterday's struggles.
So ufuna ungitshela ukuthi yonke lento engiyenzile ngiyenzela mahala.
It's your turn.
Don't look at things on the surface, but also align your passion to your academic qualifications.
Stay positive, motivated, focused, and your determination will pay off.
Jigizinto.
Guys. Yes. So
Hashtag shape your future.
Okay, Chummies, get up in some lunch.
Black and the black, my friend. 15, as long as the regenerate.
City Lads are trailing 3-0 at the halftime break, but surely, Gloria, there's still so much that they can do. Still 45 minutes still left to play.
There's a lot they can do. They can perhaps just simplify the very things that they're making difficult for themselves, like Sinaza trying to thread the ball through a needle instead of just taking the ball and chipping it over the keeper and trying to put the ball through her legs. That would have made a huge difference. We could have got 2 goals for City Lads. But then you also look at the bench and you say there's Bottoman who could come in, and you're also looking at Spesetu Nojoko, who's got 2 goals to her name. She also knows how to find the back of the net. They need to try and come back, but yeah, it's going to be very, very difficult.
Richmond United, they're in the driving seat. Is there a need for them to be making any changes going into the second half?
I think it's only rotation that the coach could do to give more confidence, but I think he's chasing that top goal scorer record because he got young player of the season from this team, and right now, as Simpson is doing wonders, Dlamini is also doing well on the side. The only thing I would say, they must just look out for the counter-attacks behind them because they get hold.
All right, well, the players are on the pitch. They are ready for the second half. What will happen? Will City Lads stage a comeback, or is it Richmond United that will walk away with the maximum 3 points? Let's take you back to our commentary team at the HWBSL Stadium.
Asibonge ke kakhulu ke e-studio ke siphinde ke simamkele ke umbukeli ke lapho ke ekhaya ke siphansi la eKimberley ke kuona ke umdlalo ongaphansi ke kweHollywoodBets eSuper League njengoba ke iqembu layo ke iCity Lads lenza ke inguquko fanele ngempela ke bazenze inguquko ngoba ke siye ekhefini belandela ke emuva angamagoli amathathu eqandeni oyashintsha ke manje ke umqeqeshi njengoba ke befuna ke ukufaka la uSipho Sethu noJoko bayamkhipha ke uKaren January elona ke ushintsho ke olwenziwa ke iyona ke iCity Lads nange futhi uNosiphiwe uBottomani bakhipha ke usikelelwa Mhlanga ngempela ke iqembu leCity Lads alibonakalanga esombeni ke sokuqala ingakho ke manje ke umqeqeshi ezenza lenguquko
kumele ukuthi bayenze lo shintsho Thuli bashintshe nama dynamics already first half babonisa ukuthi badlalanga kahle so amaqinga manje umqeqeshi ukutry nabo ukukora 3 goals in the second half yiko yenza lo yashintsho lufanele lo shintsho njengoba ubona noJoko noBottomani
yabona ke uSamsini awezenzela ke ngesombe ke sokuqala ke njengoba ke eshaya ke amagoli amabili wase ke eba ke neassist egolini ke elesithathu abaphinda ke bathola ke ipenalty ke wase ke egeja noma ke wayivimba nje kahle kakhulu ke laphana ke ugoalkeeper oAmanda Nteke ipenalty yakhe laphana ke ushawe engakho ke sithi ke 3-0 ke iscore uyabona ke le penalty ekade ke itholwa ke iRichmond United selokhu ke iqalile ke isizini bekuyi penalty ka21 ama penalty awu 18 avalelwe phakathi base ke bewageja ke amanye ke amathathu yabona onontsikelelo zweni ke omunye ke wageja ke ipenalty angesikhathi ke bedlala ke laphana ke ne-tsunami ke yona ke i-first touch asibulele holweni we-UWC ngesikhathi ke bedlala ke ne-Bloemfontein Celtic umdlalo waphela nge-draw ka-not kodwa ke i-UWC yayitholile ke ipenalty uholweni wasethi uyibeka ke phakathi wavimba ke ugoalkeeper we-Celtic umoletsane nangu ke manje no-Amanda Nteyi eshaya nje enhle isave ngempela wayo ke iCity Lets asibone Samson futhi phezukwetilani athini lapha unophempe kodwa ke uyaphuma ke yena ke uNteyi ezona ke inguquko ke esizibonile kanti iRichmond vele ithi akukho konakele asibuyele enkundleni njengoba besinjalo
iRichmond umqeqeshi bakhumbuzile ukuthi yasi iphethe yona i3 sigodlile mara kusho ukuthi ugodla ngeke bayihlwithe bangayihlwitha that's why ukuthi manje masigodle kanje asihloniphe imigomo nesihloniphe nama principles wethu ukuthi labantu laba bangatholi opportunity yokuthola nje nelilodwa asikhiyeni senze sho ukuthi we try to get igol le4 and lezobabulala kakhulu
ebhola liphumela ke ngaphandle lapha ngaphesha kwenkundla City Lets embala yabo ke egqamile red and white naso ke lesombe ke esesibili ke basiqala nje ngegiya ke liphezulu uyabona ke laphana ke phambili uTayiwe no Samson abayithwalisa kanzima ke leya defense eyayo ke iCity Lets bese kuthi ke lapha ngakwesokunxele khona uThandeka uNgcambe noDlamini ebona ke abaletha ke amabhola ke ayingozi kakhulukazi uNtawolenge Dlamini aphakele ke yena ke nalelinye ibhola ke boxini kodwa ke bayavimba ke laphana ke emuva ayanda njongweni ebhola ke lide kodwa ke alimhluphi ke leli bhola goalkeeper uMogethi Nandi Papoyi akabona nje ukuthi udidekile akazi ukuthi kalenze njani baze bamphuca ngoba ke akuveli umuntu ukuthi ke aphase leli bhola
ubheke thuli most of the time iCity Lets mabaphethe ibhola kushoda wona ama option ukuthi bakhona ukudlalela enye teammate yakhe because base ama numbers wabo asiyahlele emuva I mean defending ngama defender I7 which is a low super low block basaba ukuthi manje bangasakho consider amanye ama goal so that is why ubona kungana option mabaphasa umuntu ophambili or unojoko or uboy akuna option manje
Dlamini futhi oyena ke laphana ke ongena ke laphana ke ngakwesokunxele eyalithatha ke ibhola ke iCity Lets emuva ke lapha kukhona Richmond ehlasela ke ngasohlangothini ke lesikudla manje bafuna ke yena ke lapha Tsepiso Radebe kodwa ke ibhola ke labo ke liyonakala khona ke lapha uNompempe nomsizi wakhe babonile ukuthi ke akwenzekanga kahle yabona uDlamini sobe sokuqala odlala ibhola ke elihle ngempela ama assist amabili wonke ke intombazane ke yase Free State endaweni ke ebizwa ke ngeBothaville umdlali ke ngempela ke odlale kahle enikeza ke yena ke uSamson sobona ke isombe sesibili ukuthi uDlamini ngabe ke umqeqeshi wayo ke iCity Lets ubuyile yini neqhinga lokuthi amvimbe ngoba uyena upoison kakhulu la kuyona iRichmond
iyebonisa ubuhlakani bamqeqeshi situation mayisotuli uba umqeqeshi ngalama situation oh definitely a good call from assistant lapha it's an offside but mawusasho ngomqeqeshi ukuthi umqeqeshi wona team yakho iphansi kanje ubonisa ubuhlakani bakho manje makuso ukuthi amaqhinga akho azokhona ukuthi ubuyise team yakho naye ikhona ukushaya amagoli ayi3 hence ngishilo ukuthi fana kalungise nje lapha emva bakhiye ukuze bakhona ukufuna amagoli but solid defense is a platform for attacking success so mama ngaqina ngemuva bavula ngapha bazolikora ngapha igame izophela ngamagoli amaningi
uyabona ke la City lethu uma ngabe ke inqoba ke lo mdlalo noma ke ishawa kulo mdlalo asibone ke le through ball bafuna ke yena ke uSamson awu naba bemnika nali ibhola elihle boxini laphakama iflag laphakama iflag kuthiwa offside
akayitholanga correct assistant in that situation because ibhola makalidlala uSamson uzoyibona le line last defender at the time badlala ipass uSamson utayiwa ubhekane no goalkeeper another wrong call from assistant
awunompempe ke ngempela ke enza ke iphutha lapha umsisi ke kaNompempe enange lapha iyolisa amakhalima 22 years walapha kwazakhele eGqeberha ayena ke odlala ke njenge right back akulona ke iqembu ke layo ke iCity lethu nangu uDlamini futhi nange ligoba uDlamini kodwa ke ibhola ke liphelela ke ezandleni ke zika goalkeeper Amanda Ntesi bamlahla phansi
mangenza iresearch yami Thuli engikubonile masibukela lama teams wonke ama teams mawa concede igoli lokuqala lesibili especially first half ibody language changes mhlambe kwenziwa ukuthi psychologically ama coaches asebenza ngaba bosisi but ngibonile ukuthi mama concede 1 or 2 umqondo uthi hayi game sesiyiluzile that is why ubona sebavulela namanye amagoli but I think abamcekeshi banomsebenzi omkhulu kakhulu kule FIFA break in terms of working so much because talent ikhona but in terms of the psychological sithi umqondo omkhulu webhola ofunekayo uimportant
uyabona ke nangu la ethole khona ke iyellow card yena ke aphelele Mphambane yabona aphelele Mphambane njoba edlalisa kabi yena ke andisiwe bobabili bayazana baphuma ke endaweni ke eyodwa lapha eMonti eEast London endaweni ke ebizwa ke ngokuthi iseDuncan village bazana nje kudala bona ke bobabili la uMphambane no andisiwe Ndesi kodwa ke yellow card abayikhiphile ke banikeza ke yena ke aphelele 26 years ayena ke laphana ke aphelele bobabili futhi badlalele ke iqembu elibizwa ke ngeBirmingham City makhulunywa ngemhlathe yazanayo ehlangene namhlanje khulunywa ke ngoaphelele Mphambane no Andisiwe Ndesi bobabili badlala ke laphana ke eCenter bafuna uBoy eyalithatha ibhola ke eRichmond babaphuca nje kalula nali ibhola ke elide ejubane kuSamson walithola uSamson ngene boxini uSamson asibona ithuba leRichmond Samson Samson akaqedi lapha uDlamini
Thuli ku-important ukuthi sikunike i-credit to Samson umbheke ukuthi makaqashuka ngapha ko-right 2.0 lapha ushiya abantu kanjalo ushaya imoto but nayi importance decision making la kule situation ujikile which maybe option kufanele athathe responsibility akore but uyishiftile responsibility wena uDlamini was bengalindele that is why uDlamini athathe le decision I think uSamson lapha umshaye umthele ngale busweni that is why umbona uDlamini yangalikadanga lilindele na
Samson ngempela ke eganga ke ngebhola elayo ke eRichmond amabhola ke iwawina nje kalula eRichmond United yolisa amakhalima abamvala wasala phansi umakhalima awubheka ureceiver kamnandi kanjani ibhola athandeka ngambe shintsha kamnandi umdlalo ofuna ke uDlamini ngakwesokudla kodwa ke abamtholi ke uDlamini 10 minutes asawudlaliwe ke sombeni ke sesibili Esiko ke samile sithi ke 3 Richmond United not City Lads.
Thank you, Tuli. And it seems as if City Lads might just be that little bit more resilient in the second half, but Richmond United slowly starting to string those passes together. And same story, Samson and Dlamini having a real run on the wing in the open areas, and it's really starting to open up. But City Lads haven't conceded that fourth goal just yet, and Richmond United will be certainly licking their lips at the prospect of adding to their lead. And Samson on the brink of a hat-trick. It's not something that you get the opportunity to accomplish every day, so for Samson the hat-trick is most definitely high on that menu of hers. As it's pumped forward, Richmond United once again winning those balls in the air. Very strong from Shawe, of course, missing that penalty in the first half. And in Shota, very well recovered from Shawe, of course. And Shota might just be a little bit isolated, as we can see there. Golden Ladies, of course, playing out to a goalless draw earlier on in today's clash. Really frustrating Bloemfontein Celtic. And Celtic coach, I noticed that Coach Araba, just the Bloem Celtic coach, exiting off the field as soon as he could after that 0-0 draw against the bottom side Golden Ladies. So City Lads now will be looking to somehow just sneak a goal back, as Samson now retrieves the ball for Richmond United. And Samson gets on the wheel. Samson still going. She's through. Yes, surely now. Samson, can she put the cherry on the cake? Dancing around. Dlamini shifting it back onto her left. Samson onto her left now. Samson putting it through. Richmond United frustrating the crowd so very much and playing around in the box. Samson looking for support, but Richmond United just maybe guilty of overplaying there.
Samson does so well breaking down on the left, which she's been a threat on the left hand side. But decision making, the final ball, it's very important. Again, a good pass in that situation. Ngambe should have terminated. I mean, good pass from Samson. Should have terminated Ngambe. There is no excuse.
Samson is through. Yes, Samson through the legs. But we've witnessed this not for the first time. That offside flag has often caught the likes of Samson and Dlamini offside. Maybe just misjudging her run that ever so slightly. That right foot just creeping over that barrier. But nonetheless, a very good finish. Hammering it into the goals, but it doesn't count. And that's the most important thing. 17 offsides, a damning statistic for Richmond United. 17-1, which just shows the manner in which this Richmond United team play on the shoulders of those defenders and waiting to capitalize at any moment. And it's once again hoofed forward. Samson just waiting for that through ball. Of course, the top scorers, Andiswe McCloy from the Sundowns, as well as Rabale, and I mentioned Magia from Richmond United, also up there on the top scorers list with 9 goals. But interestingly enough, Samson has scored 6 goals before this game and currently has 8 goals, I beg your pardon, to her name, so she'll be interested in that golden boot race.
She's been doing so well, but I like the fact that we've got about 3 players that are on 9 goals. It shows good. Now the goal scorers are expanding. Teams they've accustomed goal scorers, so it's going to be interesting. Even last season you saw between Nyandeni and Mtoy. So this season at least we have 3 or 4.
And the goals have definitely been spread throughout the team. I mentioned Michelle Samson with 8 goals and 4 assists to her name. Cananelo in the midfield with 3 goals, as well as Radebe with 6 assists to her name. So definitely some midfield maestros to mix it up with their pacey wingers. Richmond United Golden Ladies getting the crowd off their feet and getting the crowd in their singing voice. Lovely turnout here this afternoon as City Lads look to respond with a goal, but it's scratched away from Ngambe. The number 6 finding a beautiful cross-field ball to Dlamini with a heavy touch, but she puts on the afterburners and puts the ball in. Seems as if it was an attempted shot, but straight to the keeper and swallowed up by Ntei. And it's once again cleared up field.
A change of location from Ngabe to Dlamini. I thought she should rush to take that shot. She could have gone. There was also space. She needed to recognize there was space available also to utilize. But unfortunately, the decision making let her down.
Richmond United currently occupying a 10th spot, sandwiched in between Durban Ladies and Coal City Wizards, and with only 5 points separating 11th and 5th, many teams will be licking their lips at the prospect of gaining ground on that peloton. As we can see now, City Lads on the far side of the field trying to manufacture a chance, and the shot goes in, almost creeping into the far post there, but not worrying the keeper Motsabe too much there.
I'm worried about the City Lads' body language. It's a reflection of a team that has lost a match. There's still time in this game. Look at Dlamini and Samson. That combination, I think it's been a threat today. It has given a lot of problems on the side for City Lads. But again, we still have so many minutes in the game to play. We're still going to see more between Dlamini and Samson on the sides.
Some would describe it as heavy metal football. It's not pretty, it's maybe not pleasing, but they get the ball forward as soon as possible to their front players and play with rapid speed, and that's the secret to Richmond United's success. As we can see now, a change around Dlamini with a wonderful game coming off. An exceptional game from the youngster, and it's Adams, the number 20, coming onto the field. And what a way to come on with 3-0 goals. 3 goals and potentially a chance to put yourself on the scoring sheet.
Technically, the sub still means they're not changing the dynamics. They're playing the same way. Adams comes in again, very pacey on the side, skillful. So the coach just said, we need fresher legs on the side. We want to occupy those wide areas. That is why now Adams come in. So it's a straight swap, like for like.
Richmond United here really taking their time with the throw-in. As you can see, all smiles, Dlamini, high fives and hugs all around with a very good performance. An unsung hero, it has to be said, here this afternoon. Samson most certainly taking the spotlight, but Dlamini, the wonderful supporting actress she's been this afternoon. As Richmond United lose out, and City Lads just might be in here. Nojoko still with the ball and shots up. Eventually forced to recuperate and go all the way back to City Lads. And they just take their time that little bit too much, but they're through here on Richmond United. It just takes one ball to get the likes of Nambe Taiwe as well as Samson through.
Very impressed by Richmond United. I mean, they found a trick, Ray, of dominating the ball position and space. Especially, remember, they countering the counter, using the counter press to make sure that they don't get caught on the counter attack. So they've dominated ball position with the space also.
Richmond United hit out there by Shawe. City Lads operating on that left-hand flank, trying to slot it through the legs. Richmond United and Robinson having none of that whatsoever. Shawe, of course, missing that penalty in the first half. They call her the road block in defense, so she definitely lives up to that name. Of course, Germiston was her place of birth, the 21-year-old, and really a stalwart in defense and really an inspirational figure at the back for Richmond United is Shawe. And it's eventually there from Nongasa. And it seems as if the Richmond United players are really enjoying themselves here this afternoon. As a throw-in goes in, Richmond United, and it's slotted through and a shot on goal! Just over the crossbar there from Radebe. I mentioned she has 6 assists to her name. She desperately wants to get onto that goal-scoring list.
How quickly the chances in through the two holding midfielders, through combination play, interplay, a lucky shot there. I think everything was done correctly. Unfortunately, she needed just to pick up a spot in that situation.
abangena ke eboxini kodwa ke uyavimba ke emuva ongezwa phezengana athole ke iyellow card kuona ke lomdlalo 3-0 iscore sisamile ke bhodini uyabona ke la isithilezi eyakhombisa ukuthi ibuya ke dressing room ebuye ke namaqhinga ke amasha ukuthi ke bamvale manje ke uSamson yabona usathule kule mzuzwana angazi ke noma ke ukuthula ke kwaSamson ingoba ke akasekho yini ke la uNthawolenge eDlamini abamkhiphile okuyena okade ke emphakela amagoli kodwa ke usathule kancane manje ke lapha uMichelle Samson asibona isithilezi cele ke 18 akodwa lelo ulifaka esikhwameni ugoalkeeper kalula nje
akathulanga thula ufihla induku emqubeni I mean makathola iservice uzombona uyayikhipha sibiza 2.0 shaya imoto uzobona nako ke
nangempela ke nangu nangu goalkeeper bu dala ke ikhona kick kodwa ke bephuma ke kufanele ke lapha uMathapelo Mukhethi 40 years awase eForshepstrom ke yena ke uMukhethi ephuma ke epalini ke evimba amanzi engena endlini ekhona ithathwa ke uyena uMichelle Samson asibone nje leliyathuba kodwa goalkeeper nalelinye ithuba lapha othi noPempe walibeka ke phakathi ibhakuzili nethi afonili iscore yaphele yabukela idefense yeCity Lets obona nje babeke izandla la eqolo sebewalahlile amathemba
ngokushilo Thuli ngathi if go back kwemishini eminingi esiyenzile ukuconsider ama teams amaningi aluza le yanto leyo ukuthi umdlalo ngasophelile but kulo standard situation organization ebashayile umpambane uthola i-second option i-second phase yokushuta lapha but akumakwanga akekho umuntu omakiwe bangabheka uNcambe uzimele nje uphethe umbrella nethawula lakhe ebish uyafinisha kanje
egoli ke number 4 elshawa ke iyona ke laphana ke Richmond United Thandeka Ncambe yabona ke la ama-follows bonke abantu abadlala phambili kuCity Lets hayi bayawashaya ke amagoli ngoba ke yabona namhlanje ubathathu ke esebewashayile Tayiwe uSamson oyena ke uNcambe abakaqedi umdlalo ke usaqhubeka oyabathathela uNolitha Msila banikeza yena futhi Ncambe nayi through ball waphuma ugoalkeeper lapha ayikakasuki ingozi lapha yabhakuzi nethi akakapheli ngisho imzuzu emibili ibhola lisuke center ngena igoli nalelinye futhi
iCity Lets izalelwe yinje endlini namhlanje Thuli I think utayiwa from the first one sizoyibona ku slow motion ukuthi bekufanele around ugoalkeeper masithi around ugoalkeeper uyivalile iengel so ube nenhlanhla ukuthi libuya kuye because nayi pass kancambe but again la utayiwa needed to round the goalkeeper but allow ugoalkeeper to make a save but unenhlanhla ukuthi liwela futhi kuye hayi wathi ngihlaphuna kabili la
kunzima ngempela kusinda kuyehlehlela akusinda kwehlela ke kuyona ke iCity Lets shaya igoli ke lakhe lesibili kulomdlalo ke Kananelo Tayiwe alokho ke kuyakutshela ukuthi ke usenamagoli ke amahlanu manje kuyona ke isizini awavele ke walidansela ke igoli ke lakhe ayena ke lapha uTayiwe ayibazenzela ngempela ezohamba isuthile induku namhlanje ke iCity Lets opheke nje phasenhle futhi eyakhe lapha Ncambe banikeza aphelele emphambane shintsha inkundla Hadebe bafuna ke manje ke laphana Adams kodwa ke ibhola ke liyabuya City Lets captain bafuna ke yena ke uBoy awuboyi kodwa nali ibhola ke manje bebefuna ke nosiphiwe enojogo ongene ke endaweni kaMhlanka ezinto ke kodwa ke ziyabaphika yabona ugoalkeeper yabona ke ugoalkeeper asibone nje la njengoba ke ubona ke amagoli ukuthi ke Sundowns 46 eRichmond yavele yahlala lapha aku number 2 manje nga 29 goals bese kuthi ke JBW nema Indies ke balandela ngemuva sike sasho ukuthi ke leqembu alibheki kinethi ngempela liyawashaya ke amagoli yabona ke laba ke abangenelwa kakhulu amagoli nethi yavuza la ko Golden Ladies 39 esithilezi iyona impela le 32 bese kuthi ke oTsunami nabo ke bakhona ke laphana ke ngemuva izona ke ibalo ke nangumqeqeshi odliwayo ke namhlanje ke uTerry ke akakalahli ke yena ke ithemba yabona makhulunywa ngogoalkeeper oseholidini kukhulunywa ngogoalkeeper we Richmond
udla mankinalti uphethe itawula I think ama-attacker awafiki kuye mara ku-important ukuthi ahlale umcabango wakhe uphezulu uthuli ngoba bangambamba ngama-cable so igame ayiso sometimes it affect ingqondo but ugoalkeeper makuso you are move around ukhulume nama-teammates ukuthi ingqondo ihlale isemgangathweni right.
Nompempe ke uthi akubekwe phansi ke ibhola ngoba uyolisa awumakhalima ke nangu ke ehlezi phansi ke bamthintile 22 years right back eyayo ke iCity Leds nangu la kade ethi ke uyalikhipha ke ibhola kwasho ukuthi ke utayiwe akhona ke phakamisa unyawo nompempe bengekavume la
bonile notayiwe ngicabanga ukuthi utayiwe beka ebholweni la bekamblocker and that's why I'm block unyawo lapha because it's dangerous play utayiwe lapho uphakamisa nama-stats
iyolisa amakhalima asibone futhi othi ke uyaliveza Thandeka Ncambe ebhola ke alifiki kena ke Samson asibone ke ijubane ukuthi uyalithola ile bhola nangu uBoyi oyalwa kodwa ke uyedwa bavele ke bakhiphela ke lapha ngakwesokudla ke ibhola abayo ke eRichmond baluwina eCenter Thandeka Ncambe through ball awushaya umoya lapha uSamson
uyithole right lapho assistant we need to siyanikana ngecredit to I think assistant got it right at the time ibhola abadlala uSamson hayi besikawuqula umqulu speed simbambile
offside ke yena ke laphana ke oSamson uphethe ijubane ongakaze ulibone ke yena ke Michelle Samson City Leds iyalungisa zama ukuthi baye phambili manje noLitha Msila akanayo support bavele bamthathela nangempela ke uMsila nange manje Adams bamphuca ke naye ke Adams noJoko onamagoli ke amabili kule season unoJoko awufuna ke uMsila ibhola liyamshiya azilungi izinto uyabona unoJoko ke ungene ke kule sombe ke esesibili uyabona ke la sinazo Ntshota umdlali omncane kunabo bonke la enkundleni una 16 years nje kuphela usafunda ke isikole ke ufunda grade 9 owakhona ke kwazakhele ePort Elizabeth odlala ke njenge winger ke kule qembu Samson athola uHadebe bafuna ke ukuveza kodwa ke nangu Ndesi uyalwa Thandeka oyavimba futhi ke laphana ke emuva ayena ke laphana ke umakhalima uyabona ke mobheka ball possession la 55% kuyona ke iRichmond kanti ke 45 kanti mobheka ama passes 212 kuyona ke iRichmond kanti ke 207 kuyona ke iCity Leds zonke inamba zivuna eRichmond njengoba ke ihamba phambili at 5-0 iscore.
Thank you, Tuli. The floodgates have opened and Richmond United have decided to help themselves on countless amount of occasions. As we can see there, player out for City Lads FC. The score is currently 5-0 in favour of the home side. We mentioned their impressive home record, 4 wins from 4, and it seems as if they're only 15 minutes away from making that 5 from 5, but it's a long 15 minutes in store here for City Lads. And definitely a defeat that they need to go back to the drawing board and something to overcome for this relegation-stricken side. As we just have a look at some of the highlights there. Handball there by Ngeng Zongane that gifted that penalty to Shawe, the roadblock as they call her, and unfortunately deciding to go straight down the middle. The goalkeeper guessing right and holding her ground very well, and perhaps that's probably the best thing that City Lads can take out of this game, is their willingness to carry on defending and carry on making those crucial saves. But as I mentioned, it's a long 15 minutes in store, and it seems as if Richmond United are really keen to add to their lead. Of course, Shawe making 4 tackles this afternoon. A lot of unsung heroes in this Richmond United team. It's not only Samson, Dlamini and Ngambe as well as Tawe, but it's those players such as Shawe, Mokheti and Robertson that have allowed Richmond United to build from the back, and subsequently, as you can see there, the 5-0 advantage, putting the smile on plenty of the faces this afternoon. Just a little break in play. Of course, Samson. Prize money, of course, player of the season, young player of the season. We'll have a look at that now as Samson tries to get in for a hat-trick. Tries to go on her left foot and just going wide there.
She breaks again on the left-hand side. But what's the better option? I think there was a space that she needed to attack, but obviously the other option would have been to come inside using the right to give the option to Daiwa. But I thought the decision, you can see the decision says the mind is a bit tired now. The game was already in the back with the phone it up. So sometimes the players need to play to the finish.
Richmond United once again with yet another attack. Ngambe slots it through. Just holding that cross ever so slightly. Ngambe once again, heavy touch. And eventually, City Lads clear their lines. Lovely footwork there from Makalima. And still with the ball now are City Lads. Just poking it through there for McShotta. But nothing that has bothered Richmond United too much, it has to be said. Goalkeeper Motsabe has had rather the quiet afternoon in goal. Afternoon that goalkeepers really don't mind at all, a clean sheet that you don't really necessarily have to work for.
I always say that goalkeepers, when they make a lot of saves, speaks about organization, how organized the team is. So I think today you can see she's enjoying herself. Motsabe, she's not attacked. Also the team has done well defensively.
Once again, cleared upfield. Samson interested. Hit it clear there from City Lads. And it seems as if the game has just fiddled out that little bit. The energy levels from both teams have decreased that ever so slightly, but that has to be said, the fitness intensity and the fitness levels from Richmond United certainly superior to relegation contenders City Lads. On the far side of the field, Samson will be definitely interested here on the long post, and screams and frustration there from some of the forward players. Desperately wanting the cross there to find their heads, just not quite managing to do so.
I've said it, that when the score is like this, sometimes it affects the mindset. You already know that the game is in the back. You can see from decision making and the tempo of the game now, it's slow down, like you've highlighted. But what's important is, if I'm a coach, you need to remind the players that let's get more goals. It's an opportunity for us to get more goals. Already you've scored so many goals, but you need to score more. Goal difference sometimes helps.
Tabi Singh Majia, of course, away for national duty. The AFCON Cup, of course, for Banyana, but now a chance for Richmond United to make it 6. Ngambe almost capturing her second goal and almost becoming the 3rd player of this game to maintain that brace, but a decent enough save from Ntei.
it was bouncing, and she went with a toe pan in that situation. Maybe the connection also was not good. That's why she couldn't connect and get it to give it the power.
And Singh Majia, they wouldn't have missed her that much this afternoon, Richmond United. Of course, we had a look at some of the awards available in the Hollywood Bet Super League, and Majia, the young player, was voted the young player of the season in the previous campaign. So Richmond United, definitely a club with so much talent, and a club that seems to have their scouting exactly on point. And some, I mentioned diamonds in the rough. Richmond United are playing with 11 diamonds on this field here this afternoon. As we can see, their offside call from City lads, just making that run. And well spotted from the lineswoman. And a free kick deep within their own half. And it has to be said, the medical staff here in attendance this afternoon has been kept on their toes. Nambe. Samson, maybe just running out of steam there, but Samson intercepts. She can slot away now. Samson, oh no! Staring down the goalkeeper, and a wonderful save from Inteye, it has to be said. She's been really good this afternoon, making crucial saves, although the scoreline suggests otherwise. She did prevent Samson there from becoming the hat-trick hero of Kimberley.
Samson pressed on her own. She was able to win the ball through Njongweni, and obviously in that decision making, we spoke about this. She needed to terminate there. There is no excuse. 1v1 with the keeper with full view of the goal in front of you, needed to terminate. Definitely a good save.
Samson there, I mentioned she was running out of steam, but then intercepted the ball in a wonderful save towards the near post, going down very quickly. Very good save from the number 16 Inteye. I mentioned an experienced campaigner, 38 years old. Very good keeper in between the sticks, but it's just a pity that City lads just rely too much on their goalkeeper, keeping them in the game. Thrown here on the near side for Richmond United. Inteye keeping a close eye. Although the scoreline suggests 5-0, she's so professional, it has to be said. And one of the lights in the dark tunnel for City lads. Here on the near side of the field, once again, Msila the one coming off. City lads holding from the back once again. And a number of runs made either way for City lads, a number of pass options available, and eventually taking one. And shot on the other side of the field, as well as Jacobs. And as you can see there, the frustration and the disappointment, the despair in the eyes of City lads coach Terry Morera.
Those subs, tactically, I mean, Makalima, she has lost a bit of spark on the right-hand side, so it's a straight swap, it's like for like. But Msila was substituted because of she was the first injury. She was the first sub because there was an injury from Msila. So Mnyungula comes in to sit in to do a dirty work with Undes in the midfield.
City lads now will be really hoping that they can take a goal back to the Eastern Cape with them. They only have about 6 or 7 minutes to do exactly that. And it has to be said that they aren't exactly giving up just yet, as Ngambe puts it through. Richmond United might just put the cherry on the cake. Taiwe, oh no, Richmond United maybe just overplaying once again from Richmond United. So guilty of a couple of things, it has to be said. They haven't been perfect this afternoon. City lads have allowed them those spaces to operate in.
Those situations, Ray, they require a player to be able to lift up your head, to see the reaction from the goalkeeper. Because if you look, Inteye has been doing a very good job in terms of the saves. But now the players also make it easy for her, because they look down, immediately they raise their head. She's already here to obviously narrow the angle. I thought Taiwan needed to do better in that situation.
Substitution there, Taiwe, of course, scoring a brace here this afternoon. Coming in for the missing Majia. And Taiwe with a wonderful finish Very good work, and eventually makes her way off field. She had a bit of a dance and really enjoyed herself here this afternoon. But now to you, Tuli, to cap off what is a wonderful day's football here at the BS Stadium in Kimberley.
Kosele nje imzuzu ke emhlanu kodwa ke ilokho ke icindezele njalo Richmond United yabona ugoalkeeper kuphela nje ovimbile ukuthi ke sibone inqwaba yamagoli angaphezulu kwalawa ke esiwabonile njengoba ke emahlanu yabona Amanda Nteyi kuzofanele limbonge leqembu ngoba ngaphandle kwakhe angabe ke sibone amagoli cishe ayisikhombisa ngoba amasave awenzile uqale ngepenalty wavimba enhle namanje unange bageza bona ke oSamsini njengoba ke benza ke ushintsho manje bamphumuza otayiwe kongena ke onthathile Rozo kokhona ke umdlali ke ohlezi phansi kokhona ke umdlali ke ohlezi phansi eqenjini ke elayo ke iRichmond United inoxolo anoxhasa ke uyena ke lo abamthintile bayambiza abosizo ukubizwa ke abosizo ke loqala ke ukuthi abazombheka yabona uSamsini ushaye ke amagoli ke amabili ane assist ngaphezulu uyena osize egoli ke lakhe uTayiwe eloqala njengoba ke kade ke evalela phakathi ke igoli ke elesithathu ube nomdlalo omuhle kakhulu namhlanje oyena ke oSamson nangu ke la ethinteke khona ke unoxolo anoxhasa yabona ke esithi lethe uma isuka ke kulomdlalo izodlala nema Indies yabona ke ima Indies iqembu ke futhi ke elisefomini ngendlela ke eyisimanga ngoba selokhu bagcina ukushawa mhla ka7 May emva kwalokho induku ke abayazi sebedluwine 6 games bama nama draw amabili leqembu leli lesithi lethi lizoya ke kuyodlala anayo ke laphana ke ima Indies kuzofanele ngempela balungisa izinto ngale kwaloko futhi ke bazofike bayisuthi induku akuyona ke laphana ke ima Indies nayizolo iwinile eshaya iDurban Ladies eDurban Ladies naye ekade isiwine ke imidlalo ke emili kulandelana emva kwalokho bazobe sebedlala ke nayo ke iGolden Ladies akuzobe kuyimpi ke yalapha emsileni ke leyo eGolden Ladies nayo ke iCity Lethe emva kwalokho ke bazodlala ke nayo ke iDurban Ladies iyona ke imidlalo ke iyayo ke iCity Lethe ke elandelayo njengoba ke lona uzophela bedliwa o3 points oyasala khona la eKimberley eqembu leRichmond liyawuthatha ke lo 3 points na kanjani 5-0 score Ndesi esingise center olokho zabalaze njalo oansiwe Ndesi bafuna manje nosiphiwa bottomman oyekhona ke laphana ke eThekwini ngesikhathi sama playoffs ke esasoli awubheke le through ball enhle futhi Richmond igudla ngakwesokudla ke manje bafuna ke yena ke onthathile Rozo ebhola ke laseke elonakala ubuya ke nalo ke Amanda Nteyi goalkeeper ke owenze kahle kakhulu nayi futhi kubizwa istretch kokhona umdlali ohlezi phansi ngibona ngathi ke uthandeka Ncambe onegoli ke elilodwa kuwona ke lo mdlalo o24 years omunye umdlali nje obaleke kakhulu kule qembu layo ke iRichmond United
uthinteke uNcambe but sibona ngathi sibiza lento ethi muscle fatigue udonze hamstring hopefully akusinte serious I think Richmond they look at this game into emnandi futhi le game beseTV it gives them the opportunity ukubona ukuthi fanele balungiseke kuphi inkinga zakho uzilungisa uma uyiteam izinto mazihambela kahle uma uwinile ngoba mazingahambi kahle ukwazi ukulungisa izinto so I think Richmond it's an opportunity for bona ukuthi babheka ama feedbacks wale game but mawungabheka nemidlalo elandelayo for Richmond nayi uyibhekile nje.
Umdlalo ke wayo ke ozolandela ke bazodlala ke nayo ke i-University of Western Cape kodwa lo mdlalo ngeke kube khona ngoba uhlehlisiwe i-UWC inabadlali ke abaku-national team njengoba bengadlalanga anangayo ke lempela sonto kanti ke nayo ke iCity Ladies bese ke sibhekile ke eyabo imidlalo ma-Indies, Golden Ladies, Durban Ladies, Celtic bese ke bevala ke ngayo ke i-University of Western Cape yona imidlalo emihlanu le ebalekile kakhulu ke kule qembu layo ke eCity Ladies bayashintsha abayo ke iRichmond uncambe uyaphuma kungena uSaulus
let's sub it's also to bring in fresh good team Tuli, but also important game say Pedile you wanna manage in the ball better, you wanna keep possession because the very score so we 5 and I don't angiboni iCity Ladies ibuya so you call umqeqeshi la uvele uyayibeka kahle ukuthi not isi dominate iposition silibambe silimunye sisicele silihlaba
esikhathi ke ngempela ke siyayiphelela ke iyona nayo iRichmond asibone cishe sibone on goal lapha noma ke bekubeka ke lapha uyena ke onthathile Rozo awubethi ke uvalela ke phakathi defense yeCity Ladies ibheke ngasepalini layo alokhu emake njalo ongezwa ecezengana laphana ke emuva 23 years yena ke ucezengane wase New Brighton Port Elizabeth asibone nje ukuthi iyalithola yini lokubika ekhaya iCity Ladies njengoba kunzima nokuthi ke bafike nje epalini lika Mutsabi kunzima ngempela asibone nje la njengoba ke belincenga bafuna ke yena ke unoxolo unojoko bamphuca unojoko nange manje ke Rozo bhekene ke no goalkeeper asibone ke ithubu uyaphuma ugoalkeeper muhle kakhulu uyabona uAmanda Anteyi nakuba iqembu lakhe lidliwe kodwa yena usebenze omkhulu umsebenzi namhlanje
equality uyibona nje noma team yakhe ingadlalanga kahle namhlanje mara equality uyayibona kuye ucabanga nje ukuthi defense yakhe engakhona ukumkhiyela Thuli angayenza umsebenzi omuhle kahle ugoalkeeper omnandi kakhulu sisazombona kakhulu kabi
eliphakeme iflag uthiwa ke sekukhona ke offside kuyena ke onthathile Rozo ama offside mabili ku 21 ku Richmond kanti ke mabili kuyona ke iCity Ladies lokho kuyakutshela nje ukuthi ke iqembu ebelihlasela ngempela namhlanje iyona iRichmond United njengoba ke ibuya futhi ngakwesokudla Adams bayamphucu Adams Ndesi Ndesi ke uke wadlala ke ku national team phakathi kwa 2013 no 2015 nge37 years unegoli ke elilodwa ke kule season andisiwe Ndesi a bottomman bamphuca nje kalula ke yena ke bottomman bayiqala ke ngakwesokunxele manje bafuna ke yena ke lapha ongezwa Rozo obhekana no goalkeeper Rozo lapha waphinde wamgeza umgezo kwesibili kulandelana awuyavimba ngempela ugoalkeeper weCity Ladies Nteyi
unteyi ama 1-on-1 so amathathu manje Thuli uRosso naye labe kufanele azame ukuthi achipe ugoalkeeper because the man defender ayi2 bese wamcoverile kufanele achipe ugoalkeeper because uNteyi bese kaphansi but give credit to uNteyi I think usha umsebenzi omuhle namhlanje
umhlalo ke waseke ewuqeda ke unompempe nonjabulo Ndlela othi ke i90 minutes nemzuzu emine enginiphe yona eyaphela ke uphela ke sithi 5 Richmond United are not eqembu ke layo ke iCity Lads ngempela umdlalo obuphethwe ke iyona ke iRichmond United. City Lads ngempela ke isombe sokuqala izinto zayo bezinhlakanhlaka akukho obekuhlangana isombe sesibili basiqala kodwa ke kwaphinda ke ekonakala usebenzile la andisiwe kodwa ke imisebenzi yakhe ngempela ke ayizange ke ibonakale njengoba ke ubona obuso ke babadlali bayo ke iCity Lads ukuthi ke budangele emva kokudlala kahle emdlalweni ke odlule benqoba namhlanje izinto ke zabo ke asihambanga ke kahle umdlalo ke ngempela ke uphela ke ngawo ke amagoli amahlanu eqandeni abantu ke bebekhona besingahambi sodwa nje ubabona nje bajabule ke ngempela ke abalandeli ke abakhona ke la enkundleni eHWBSL Stadium ke nawa ke amagoli 5-0 aSamsini mabili itayiwe amabili bese kuthi ke uNcambe walivalela phakathi ke igoli ke elogcina elayo ke laphana ke iRichmond United impama siyibiza ke ngempama ke thina iscore ke emasimi ke kanje kanti ke yabona ke mawubheka la 57% ball possession ku43 kanti ke ama shot at goal 27 kwa9 on target 16 eRichmond kanti ke mane kuona ke lapha iCity Lads njengoba ke ubona ke la Dr Mnandi ukuthi konke kuvuna abanqobile namhlanje.
Ngishilo ngathi City Lads namhlanje izalelwe yinje endlini. Mawubheka from the ball position point of view 57 to 43 so kuyasho ukuthi iRichmond ladies United they dominated the position. Ku ratio amapasi ahlangane kakhulu is 52 to 48 but now let's go to ama tackle. Ama tackle asho into important ukuthi iRichmond ladies they were aggressive because bebayifuna le game but kuma crosses they dominated foot.
5-0 full time score la eHWBSL Stadium ke siyazigoqa zonke intambo thina la phezulu kwi commentary sizithatha ke sinikeza ke uvusiwe uNgcobo uphethe ke lapha iplayer of the match.
A massive thank you to our commentary team painting a beautiful picture of this game as Piwa Mkonza, Tulisi Lemia as well as Ray Kuhn. But right now we are joined by Vuyokazi Tobo of Hollywood Bets. She is the area manager for Kimberley. Please Swami Stella Uschelu Utubani, a player of the match Gulomdlalo.
Sanmonani, a player of the match today is Michelle Sampson.
Michelle Sampson, and you can see the smile on her face just matching up with the performance she's given us here today. Firstly, Michelle, congratulations to you for your brace here today. You came into this game with 6 goals, you leave with 8. How are you feeling?
I don't know what to say. I'm like in the world now. I can't just believe that I'm man of the match of this game.
You did really well, and you're just a goal behind the top goal scorers at the moment in the league. How do you feel about that?
It's an amazing field, and I didn't think that I would go this far or come this far as reaching the top goal scorer of this year, of this season.
Certainly. And as we talk about your goals, which one stood out the most for you today?
The ones I scored today, the 2 that were assisted by Dlamini in Towling. Those 2 are the most amazing goals that I've ever scored in the league.
Okay, so both of them. Thank you so much, Michelle. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That is the player of the match in this encounter, Michelle Sampson of Richmond United. We now bring in the losing coach here today, Coach Terim Khwehwe. Coach, umasithi siyabheka lo mdlalo wanamhlanje ngenkathi singena kuwona uthe wena if it's not broken we're not fixing anything, but it seems like there are some things that needed to be changed in this encounter.
As I've said before, as much as we've obtained 3 points, I was not happy with that 3 points in the manner we were playing offensively. There seems to be cracking again at the back. There's a lot of cracks at the back again. We have to go back to drawing board and see what's probably the rest. It will give us some chance to fix another thing before we start the second round or finish up our first round to start the second round in order not to take us out of the danger zone.
And Coach, umasithi siyabheka, the score line could have been worse namhlanje. Kune penalty uNteyaka isavile, and she also made a lot of other saves in this encounter.
I'm sure it's a 5th or 6th week in a row. She has been always saving. She's always playing on top of the game. She's on top of the game now, and I can't thank her just because it could have been more. What can you say? When a player is on form, he's on form.
Coach, you have a little bit of time before your next game, Gate 25 is got June against my Indies. This is a side that lost a game on the 7th of June. Nizlungisela kanjani ukuhamba niyoqondana nabo given the performance yanamhlanje?
Since we're going to international week, I don't think we'll be pushing the players too hard in terms of loading, since we always go to the 13th week. So I will try at least to go down, since we're going to get the 4 weeks. So such that I gave them recovery in the first week, and then we start pumping them up on this in order to prepare for it.
Thank you so much, Coach. Unlucky here today. That is a Coach Terim Khwehwe of your Nage City Lads, the losing side here today. The man that is all smiles, it is Coach Edwin Disene. Coach, you and I spoke about how in your previous game you dominated play, but that wasn't evident in the scoreline. Namhlanje, you dominated play and you managed to get the goals as well.
Yes, like I said before the start of the game, I saw their videos, they are too slow in the midfield, so we need to counter-press them and use our quicker wingers, and it happened like that, the way we planned it, and it happened. And I'm happy for the girls, because we spoke about converting, but today they did the job of converting goals. Yeah.
And Coach, as you speak about converting, also good for you to keep a clean sheet, because we know you to be a team that can score the goals, but you also let a lot of goals in. But namhlanje, you managed to keep a clean sheet.
Yeah, that, like I said, we normally concede early in the game. Today we spoke, we must at least 15 minutes is a crucial game that we must focus, and then they did that also today. Yeah, but we mustn't be complacent because of we are scoring goals. We need to be disciplined in the field of play also. Then we got only 1 yellow card today, which is good for the team. Yeah.
Certainly, Coach. Am I offside? Do I know they're cause of for concern for you? It just shows that you guys are going on the attack.
Yeah, we are an attacking team, to be honest. Even though we got a lot of offsides, but the other offsides were not even offside. We can say that, but we will deal with it. We'll go back to the drawing board and work on it of these issues of the offside. Yeah.
Thank you, Coach, and congratulations on your 3 points and keeping your unbeaten run at home.
Yeah, no, I'm happy.
That is, of course, Coach Edwin Disene of your Nage Richmond United. The home side here today, they managed to keep their unbeaten run when it comes to their home matches. 5 goals to the good. We saw Michelle Sampson coming through with a brace. Also the player of the match here today. And then Taiwe also finding a brace here. And then Ungambe also putting her name on the score sheet. For Coach Terim Khwehwe, a lot of work needs to be done by the City Lads team. He knows that they need to do a lot of work, especially because they are still number 14 on the log, and we do know that this is a relegation season. So it will be interesting to see ukuthi iqembu lakhe lenzani uku-ensure ukuthi bayakwazi ukuthola amaphuzu kumdlalo wabo olandelayo against Ima Indies. But Ningizimu Africa, that's how we wrap up the action from here in Kimberley at the HWBSL Stadium. It has been an absolutely fantastic afternoon of football. We take you through though now to an ad break. Thereafter, it is the 3 fine ladies in studio that give you your full-time analysis of this day's HWBSL Super League action. From myself, Uvusiwe Ngcobo, and the rest of the team, it's a good afternoon to you.
Heartburn symptoms detected.
Quickly, follow me. Burning feeling in the chest and bitter taste are symptoms of heartburn. Try Gaviscon Double Action.
It neutralizes excess acid, creates a protective barrier, and lasts up to 2 times longer. Gaviscon Double Action. Expert heartburn relief.
Baba Kwanele manje, I am fighting back.
Catch Generations The Legacy, weekdays at 8 p.m. on SABC1. Mzansi, for sure.
Makoti, sizwile ukuthi udinga usizo selithelekile. Makoti, ingane iyashintsha inabukeli. Uyincelise. Uyaphi manje Makoti?
Ngiyamthatha ngihamba naye emsebenzini because icacile ukuthi akaphephile lana endlini.
Tulo lindo nalelo mculela lona.
It's a lullaby ma.
Ngesingisi. Pho Makoti lo muntu ufuze bani? Yazi mina ngimbonda ukuthi ufana nobani.
Catch Makoti Season 2, Monday to Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. Only on SABC1. Mzansi, for sure.
Anna,
Ufumana television ka DSTV, OpenView, StarSat kapa di streaming platform, o ka sebella mathata ka hodima ha analog. Ufumana dintlha tse ding le ho netefatsa hore TV ya hao ke ya digital kapa tjhe. Etela www.dcdt.co.za. Romela molaetsa wa WhatsApp ho 0600 625 458. Shintsha ungasale. Go digital. Molaetsa ona o tliseditswe ke Department ya Communications le Digital Technologies.
Welcome back. Well, the history books will show that in their very first HWBSL Super League meeting, it was Richmond United that defeated City Lads with an emphatic 5-0 scoreline at the De Beers Stadium in Kimberley out in the Northern Cape. I'm Xolizonda, still joined by Simpiwe Dludlu, no Gloria Brown. Chisampama is what we saw from Richmond United, really showing why they are lethal at home.
Yeah, and I can just imagine if they were playing in their normal ground, which is an artificial pitch, which is quicker, which is faster, and it means City Lads was going to struggle even more there because it's a hard surface. Any ball that bounces, they go for it. But their mission was clear today, and they stuck to the tactics. Coach Richmond did say, Edwin, that they're going to pack the midfield, squeeze City Lads, and don't allow them space and time on the ball. Then as soon as they send it wide, it's the Speedy Gonzalez that are going on the left, on the right, and the two, Ungambe no Daiwe, that are interchanging. When Ngambe goes, Daiwe collects, vice versa. And that is exactly what happened. I need to commend Coach also when he says, I looked at the videos. I looked and saw what are they good at, what are they not good at, and I capitalized on that. Because of the short space between games, you just want to go into detail more than focusing vastly on the position that is upcoming for you as a coach.
A disappointing result for City Lads, also bearing in mind which they came into this encounter on the back of their first victory in the season last week against Tsunami Queens. We thought they were going to continue with that good run, but now Kugea conceding 5.
Yeah, I mean, they were really taken to the cleaners by a very, very determined team. It was known that it's going to be very difficult to get points away from home. And not only that, we need to also look at Amanda Day and also compliment her for keeping that scoreline to what it is. As Coach mentioned, the facilities could have made it a lot more different if they were playing in the usual venue, which has an artificial surface. We could have seen many more goals, but she did an excellent job in the goals and prevented that. But then again, you're looking at Richmond, a team that has really transformed and has adapted and has shown us that they're not only dependent on Ntabiseng Magia. We've seen today or got to know about a Michelle Sampson, who was an unknown last season. You also got to see a Kanalelo Taiwo, who is a player that does not realize her full potential, and she came to the fold. You also then seeing Dlamini. Was she a known player before? Definitely not. Using, as much as she's challenged in terms of her structure, but the quality of the crosses. And we talk about emphasizing on the basics. And the team came in there with a plan. Dlamini on the right-hand side. You've got Samson on the left-hand side. You've got Tawe driving the force up front. I think it was a fantastic day at the office for the coach.
Sure. And of course, the goal scoring for Richmond United started as early as the 17th minute. The player of the match, Michelle Sampson, finding the back of the net. Godwage Unteyi had done such a good job in saving that first attempt at goal, but she was there to bounce back on it.
I think it was bound to happen that Richmond scores, because if you look at it, City Lads, they started playing ngelantuka offside trap, and xa bebethe offside trap, they are not compact enough. Noba abahambi ngaxesha elinye, bahamba in drips and draps, but xa nipressa mna akho umuntu on supportayo noba on cover. That's why they ended up beconsidered as a goal. And xa uthi uyajonga, xa uSamson ephethe ibhola, unomuntu oyi-1 qha oyapha kuye. Xa edriblishe lo umuntu, she can shoot or afide omnye umuntu. Xa ujonga nangoku uDlamini gets the ball uyedwa. Ela bolo belingabuya still belingamthola nokananelo Tayiwe ezoligqibezela, because akho mntu elixesha othi kanjonga ibhola kanjonga ba ugoalkeeper xa yobethi save mna ndikuphi elo xesha.
You're also looking at discipline. When the goalkeeper makes a save, your defensive players like Ayanda and Ndongweni and Ongezo, you don't stand and watch. You're supposed to assist, because if only they reacted much quicker to close down Samson, you probably would have even motivated the goalkeeper a lot more. That's the first shot. Look at the players. You needed a player to, Yoliswa, to also close an oncoming Samson. So it is becoming very important for coaches to understand, to revisit and review previous matches. As Coach mentioned earlier, that Coach earlier spoke of, I had a look at the previous matches. I knew where to capitalize. I knew what to do. And why aren't all the teams performing the same? Because you got to make sure that you're doing your homework.
Video analysis, absolutely critical, especially with the number of matches that, of course, are being broadcast. So you need to ensure that you put that into place. Of course, it was the Samson show today, scoring her 8th goal of the season. The goal came in that 35th minute, and boy, oh boy, was it an exciting one to watch.
Yeah, because kakhulu, because xa umjonga awukwazi uba mfutshane ungabi fast. Kaloku crime. Ndiyakuxelela kwangoku awukwazi uba mfutshane ube slow, because yonke into fanele ukhawuleze ukuyenza, because uDlamini kweli xesha uyayifumana ibhola ajonga uba can I shoot noba can I cross, and she crosses the ball. Kunezininzi icross azibethayo uba uTayiwe akakhanga afikele kuzo, but ezi cross uzibethile uSamson uyayazi uba xa ndicrossa kweli xesha ngalo hlobo uSamson uzawungena. And kaloku noSamson mfutshane xa sithetha inyani, mfutshane, but ukwazile uba xa engena phaa kulast pole uyangena netiming yakhe ibalulekile gqitha. Umjonge khamjonge, uyabona uba ndi-offside ngoku, uyabuyela kwela cala. Ngoku uDlamini uphethe ibholo, khe ndikhawuleze ndisondele, and ababalekeli kwispace esifanayo bobabini, because ngoku uNcambe goes to first pole, she doesn't get it. Xa the spill comes, there she is. She doesn't say I'm left-footed coming from the right, I'm right-footed coming from the left. Uthi mna ndikwazi ubetha igoli walibetha inqaku.
Dlamini also there, you know, what inspired me or what I liked about Dlamini today is the fact that she's so observant of her positioning. When she realizes that she's offside, she makes sure she would come back onside and wait for that pass. But also the telepathic understanding of Taiwo, being able to drop deep, play it to Samson. She goes back into a space, receiving it in an open space. And the combination there, coaches really got something good going with these players up front. And this team really has got to understand the potential that they have with the players at their disposal.
Just 3 minutes after that Samson goal, it was Kananelo Taiwe who also said, I need to get my name onto the score sheet, and she did that. It was sublime. It was a goal that came the 38th minute, marking it as her 4th of the season so far.
But that one, you really got to look at it and say, if she missed, I think she would have been devastated. The work was done. They broke the defensive line, getting the ball just behind the defense. And one thing I must add also, the defense of City Lads is pretty slow. So they actually exposed that defense, getting the balls behind the defense. Decent ball, but although you'd look there and say, is there elements of an offside? You know, because where she was, I didn't see any player really playing her onside. But nevertheless, for Taiwe to be able to also make sure she stays onside and just push that ball in the back of the net.
I think also xa singathetha ngoMpambanani noRhatebe phaa emidleleni into bebeyenza kakhulu bebelifumana ibhola and bayayazi uba uDlamini uyabaleka, uSamson uyabaleka, and Kananelo Taiwe akabaleki gqithi, so nguye obayenzela i-line uba ningakhawulezi ningene kwela cala, and they were destroying everything in that center mid, because everything that Sila and Desi tried to combine there and create, they stopped it immediately. They pressed on the ball. They were very aggressive in getting the ball there and making sure they send the passes behind the defense. Xa ungathi uyajonga khange babethi through ball ezingena phaa, ziya phaa zisplitter i-defense City Lads, which was not compact in any case. Bebejonga uba i-offside traps ingayibetha njani, but bebengathethi. Bebecinga uba at least
noba xa ndithi ndiyajonga kunomuntu emva kwam loya offside ngaphandle kothetha uba asondeleleni gents uba sibenze uba abadlali apha phambi kwethu inoba abasigqithe apha phambi kwethu, but they were leaving there's too much space behind. Amanda ubengazama uba ayenze i-saves ezininzi but kangakwazi uba azivimbe zonke because aba bantwana bebekrelekrele gqitha.
We're talking of 13 offsides for Richmond. That speaks to the offensive game of Richmond, putting on all the pressure. You're bound to crack as a defensive line with players coming at you at such pace and consistently at that, and also being able to stretch and open up. Remembering that this pitch is one of those that are not so suitable to the game of City Lads because they are not used to this kind of to Richmond because they're used to playing in the artificial surface. Still being able to rip to pieces a City Lads who's used to these kind of conditions. That speaks about players that are able to adapt. You're talking also about the flexibility of the players. This coach is a coach that's got to be complimented of Richmond. He's been able to work on the strengths of the players that he has. Yes, they don't have the tallest of players. City Lads blessed with height, and he made sure he didn't give away that much set pieces for them to capitalize. And that again speaks to the intelligence and the planning.
Absolutely. And of course, even though Amanda Day, the goalkeeper, had conceded 5 goals in this match, but there were so many others that she had saved. And the one really that comes to mind is this penalty. Had she not done that, Richmond would have been 4-0 up in about 43 minutes of play.
Elixesha xa ngathi uyajonga ii-goals beziza kafuphi because oko be-attacker, and I think ugoalkeeper uzamile naye xa uthi uyajonga apha uyaphuma uba it invalid angle ngoku. I'm glad uba she didn't bring down the player because beyizoba inkinga na apha. I mean uGezencana, she tried to block it. Unfortunate uyikhuphile ingalo ba ithinde ivimbe kweli xesha, and oko ngoku uyathandaza nawe uba goalkeeper xa ingabethi save nayi save uyayibetha goalkeeper road block ithe iyabetha pha, you know, ushawe khangakwazi uba ayiskorela penalty. And I think ibabuyisile kancinci because sibonile amaxesha amanye beya for counter attacks City Lads.
All right, those are the 3 goals that we saw in the first half. 2 others that came in the second half. There was a brace for Taiwe. Nongambe naye also scored. In case you missed those goals, we'll have those highlights just after the short ad break.
Pick up your hands, I'm done.
We have fantasy. Playboy deodorant. The power of attraction.
Leg day is hard work, and hard work makes you hungry. So feed your mega hunger with a flame grilled rib and beef patty burger with our famous hand-cut chips. The Mega Ribster Burger Meal for only $69.90. Steers, flame grilled, it just tastes better.
The world go round and can't afford to let pain get in your way. You need fast, effective pain relief that gets ready to work in 10 seconds on the go. It's the same Grandpa you trust. Grandpa, trusted for over 100 years. It's the same trusted Grandpa, same quality, same quantity. Now in a sealed stick pack.
You do your best out there. Let us do our best in here with the disinfecting power of Jik. Jik cleans and kills 99.9% of germs and viruses. Jik, your family's guardian against germs and viruses. The threat of germs and viruses is always present. This winter, protect your home with JIC.
Pick up your hands, I'm done.
Be her fantasy. Playboy deodorant. The power of attraction.
It was an entertaining 90 minutes of play as Richmond United defeated City Lads 5-0. This means that it is City Lads' 7th loss of the season. And in terms of what happened in the second half, it started off with, of course, Ungambe. You know, she scored the goal in that 67th minute, making it 4-0 for Richmond United. And what a goal it was, because she had been knocking for the longest of time.
Ek was baie gelukkig hierso Tolly en jy weet wat, né? Die mense kan hulle speel mooi voetbal, because if you look at them, they find each other. They are able to say, "Was die animasie? Das die animasie." It's just unfortunate ukuthi laphaya Ungambe could not use the right part of the foot to say, "Let me tap it in." Instead, she wanted to go with the laces. Ek is so seker sy was baie kwaad, because she said to her, "Ek sal speel die bal van jou." And she didn't complete that move, because look at where it comes from. The three again combining, but unfortunate for that, they didn't capitalize on this one.
Yeah, Gloria, ngiyawuzwakala la ukuthi uDludlu is baie gelukkig.
Ja, sy moet baie gelukkig wees, because as jy sien hoe speel die dame, is baie goed voetbal en ons is baie trots oor hulle en wat hulle speel. Ons stem saam meeste van die tyd dat voetbal van meisiekinders is die beste op 'n Sondag.
Yo, mina bengizicelela nje i-dictionary just to understand what was said right here in studio. It speaks to how multilingual our analysts are. And of course, Utaiwe finished things off in the 69th minute with a brace, making it 5-0 for Richmond.
I think Taiwe really worked very hard this afternoon, and she really deserves it. But also, you're looking at Amanda Nte, who made sure she went up, made her presence felt, and I'm actually very impressed with the goalkeeper. Yes, after conceding so many goals, she still worked very hard, still remained focused, but was beaten by a team that was very determined to get as many goals as they needed today.
You see, Xoli is confused with the beautiful language of Afrikaans. I think City Lads were confused by the different runs that Richmond were making, because they were always supporting each other. When one gives support wide, there's somebody that's coming behind and saying, "If you can't shoot, I'm there to give you an angle." And this is a team that has players that are able to pass each other. So they pass each other, they find each other, they make it easy for one another, Xoli, because in this moment, they play each other to feet. When it's time to play in space, they know which players to play in space. Because Ungambe bebampase enyaweni, Ukananelo bebampase enyaweni, but uDlamini no Samson, they were playing them in space, because it was very baie vinnig, you know. So for me, they were too fast for that defense, yes, City Lads. And so fast that even no coach of City Lads ubengazi ukuthi uzokhipha bani afake bani, because Ndesi is great, Nomsila, they're great in midfield. But today they put in a shift and a half, because these young girls in their team, they were playing very hard. And I think I need to commend Coach Edwin to say, from his Celtics days, Kananelo was only about 13, 14 when she joined Bloemfontein Celtics. She's in there with him again, and she's only 17 in their team. And if you look at the other ones there, Abo Dlamini, Abo Samson, they're still young ones that are coming up. He went to Kimberley to say, "I want to raise the flag and revive women's football in the Northern Cape as well." This is hope for them. So to all the young girls that are there in the Northern Cape and thinking Guti, football is just for the different provinces outside of Northern Cape, look, there's a team there, and there's more other teams that are there that are doing well. Sol Plaikes is there, is doing well. They want students that can come and study. So make sure, Guti, you are there, find a team, play, the whole of South Africa, all the 9 provinces must be represented in the national teams because of the great players that will come from different provinces.
Oh, I absolutely agree with that. And of course, for Ngambe, it was such a beautiful goal for her because it was the first one that she scored in the season. But then, to really wrap things up, was the brace that came through from Ukananelo Taiwe, making sure that she finds another one, puts it behind the back of the net, and it's a 5th goal for her.
Also, you look here is the way they build up from the middle, and also keeping their line, the awareness of where she was, that pass coming through the defense and making sure that, yes, she could have rounded the keeper, wanted to try and chip the keeper. Again, we speak of the brilliance of the keeper, just making it rather difficult. But we're looking at quality. We're looking at the future strikers. I mean, for players like Thabiseng Magia to be surrounded by Kanalelo Tayo, we can only hope that this team can reach greater heights. Today was a day when we saw the show of 2 young 16 and 17 years old. Because when you look at City lads, Sinazo Nchota is 16. That's the number 11. And she had a fantastic game at the office. Unfortunately, ending up on the losing side. But they were definitely beaten by a team that capitalized on opportunities and a team that was very indecisive when they got to the final third.
And you can also see just how much this goal means to her with the celebration there at the end. You know, she knew which she was knocking for such a long time, and 1 goal was not going to be enough for her in this encounter. So this brace was so important.
I can just imagine a phone call from Umagia to say, "Hey, Bakhaget, so lang pele le scoring that, so guys, let's go back," because that's the language, you know. We continue where you leave off, and it's beautiful to see Wuti. Simpson goes on 8, Kananelo is on 5 goals now, so they also not relying only on Magia. That's why they now the second best scoring team, because all of them get in front of goals. They are not shy, and I just need to comment this. This is why you're looking at Mamelodi Sundowns with the goals that they've scored so much, 42 goals that they've scored so far. It's because the strikers that are in front of goals, they're never selfish. They're able to round the keeper, pass for a tap in. It's the same thing that these guys are doing. Umagia stands and says, "You guys, while you are running, I'll be in ready. Eposin, which mau shy cross minang lapanya tepa in. Mang shooter wenungena to finish off the residue." So it speaks to teamwork. It speaks to them understanding each other. It's the team first before the individual.
Oh, absolutely. And of course, for Taiwe, this was her 2nd brace of the season. The last time she scored a brace was when they defeated First Touch 7-0, which is why really this one was so important to her. But because it has been a doubleheader of the HWBSL Super League, we had an earlier encounter where Bloem Celtic were up against Golden Ladies. This was a team that they had beaten on 4 occasions, and this time around the match had finished in a goalless stalemate.
Today, I think we were all taken aback or surprised by the performance of Golden Ladies today. Absolutely on par, matched Bloemfontein Celtic in almost all areas of the park, and surprised themselves. You know, when you talk of players playing out of their skin, this is exactly what happened in today's encounter. And we really got to compliment good football. When you look at progression, you're looking at a product that is continuously saying, "Come and watch me. Come and see what we do. And maybe we're even doing it better." And yes, each and every week, you cannot go into a match and say you guaranteed points. Learning it the hard way was definitely Bloemfontein Celtic, who beat JVW, and here they are playing a draw to a 16th place Golden Ladies.
I think le basetsana ba Golden Ladies ka tsheko ba tlodula ba itumetse thata because goalkeeper mo antseng ko teng ka sheko le o dutse fela o re ha ausi ka tsheko ga o nkitla wa thola sengwe, and ka tsheko le o thibile tsotlhe because she became player of the match because of her maturity in the game, to say ntengolong ke tlo go stop, ke tlo go le delay le skebe la thola momentum nako tsotlhe gore le gone go kreya le noise. So for now ke ntwe e pila gagolo, and for us to see this product grow, it's because of the support that some of the teams are going at length to make sure they are bringing better coaches, better players in there to make sure this product of football is growing and becoming better and better. More investors must go in here, more funding, more sponsors, everybody, technical sponsors must go in and support these young girls that are playing their heart out week in, week out to give us this beautiful product of football.
And in terms of draws for Bloem Celtic, this was their 5th draw of the season. And Mangatia Bega, the teams that they've drawn against, UWC, TUT, Aboma Indies, you know, so when they do draw against the likes of Tsunami Queens and Golden Ladies, who are at the bottom of the log, it does become a bit of a concern in terms of consistency of the team. But just to confirm the results that we've seen this weekend, Ma Indies winning against Durban Ladies, Thunderbirds 6-1 drubbing of Vasco da Gama. TUT, they registered a 1-0 victory against UJ. It was Usangweni who scored in that 44th minute. And earlier on, we just showed you that goalless stalemate between Bloem Celtic and Golden Ladies, while Richmond United batted Chisamba to debutants City Lads, beating them 5-0. And of course, we do see they are rooted to the bottom, Golden Ladies and Tsunami Queens. But of course, for Golden Ladies, they just have one more point than Tsunami Queens that really is struggling this season. For City Lads, that loss really doesn't bode them well. And for Richmond United, they're now in the top half of the log, finding themselves on 8th place. Bloem Celtic were also able to climb up to 4th. Of course, JVW, they are in 3rd after that 1-0 loss that they suffered to Bloem Celtic. Ningakhohlwa-ke ukubukela iSoccer Zone tomorrow evening at 8 p.m. and of course at 10 p.m. right here on SABC1. And of course, it has been a thriller of a doubleheader in this youth month. Thank you so much, Gloria Brown. Excellent analysis. Ngikhiphile dictionary ngiyabonga namhlanje ke to the analyst. Simpiwe Dludlu, you also have been excellent. To the team, upstairs, downstairs, you always are stellar in what you do. Ngegama uXoli wakwaZondo, have yourself a fantastic evening.
More than a view, more than a team.
More than a view, more than a shadow. 15 million stories.